Sometimes it's better to let go.
Sometimes it is better to let go. Honestly, I should learn from Sethos and let go. Should shut the door too. Um, yeah. Hello. I did not think so. In case anyone is not aware, one of the potential considerations for me pulling Inefa was for Sethos. And oh yeah, I guess if you didn't see, they announced the banners. They announced them slightly sooner-ish than they. Well, is this much sooner? I don't know. It felt like it was sooner because I guess I was online. I was in the game last night when the banners popped up, and I was like, oh, Sethos, not Lanyan, so I don't need to like Sethos. So this is not. I'm not gonna. This does not mean I'm just guaranteed to get an F by any means. I have C5 Sethos, right? And I want to talk about Sethos' constellations a little bit here, and in order to one, by the way, Singcho and Fischl rerunning. Yes, for a lot of players, it's just like, oh, his characters are C6 already because we played the game for 5 years. That's good. Witches refunds are nice. Those are also incredibly important characters to rerun, and I think it makes sense to rerun them with this character. So good 4-star choices. Unironically, I think this is a really solid 4-star lineup for an EFA. For Seat Lolly, it's a little weirder, but whatever. You're getting Seat Lolly because you want to run a rerun for whatever. So it's just the fact that so many people don't have C6 Fischl. Well, the funny thing about rerunning C6 Fischl or rerunning Fischl here is if people get to C6 Fischl on this banner, that might be a consideration to not get a Nefa, right? Because C6 Fischl, I think a Nefa is definitely probably well, I shouldn't say definitely, but is probably better than Fischl, non C6 Fischl in Chevrolet's teams, generally speaking, as far as an electro offfielder goes. I think more people would value the shield and just tenacity buff and the little bit of damage and permanently keeping up the overload passive or the red shred for the Chivalrous, right? More people are going to prefer her in some situations over Fischl, just period, but just because of the shield quality. But a C6 Fischl is going to out damage an Inefa in a Chivalrous team, especially when played properly. You snapshot Fischl buff. Fischl can do a lot more damage than an Inefa in a Arlecchino. If we're talking Arlecchino, Eon's on Chivalrous Fischl, right? Fischl will do a lot more damage than an Inefa. But anyways, I just mentioning that I think it's funny if you end up if you wanted a Nefa for a Chevrolet's off-fielder team option, and then you wanted a Nefa just because she's versatile for being a DPS with Hydro and whatever, her kit is made to be. And part of the reason for wanting that was because you don't have C6 Fischl. Well, it's kind of funny that you might get C6 Fischl with her, and it's probably a good thing still, regardless, because it's good to have C6 Fischl as an option. Yada yada yappity yap. Having this is kind of a complete Sethos team, by the way. Singcho, Fischl, Sethos, and Efa. This is a complete, pretty decent team. So, no cool hashtag this stream. Okay, let me find. I'll acquiesce that request.
I'm gonna go check it out. Early bird gets the worm.
Early bird gets the worm. All right. Fixed. There you go. I made a cool hashtag. There you go. I addressed that issue. So, anyways, love the fox character you have. Oh, speaking of, sorry, we're distracted again. We're gonna yap about Sethos' constellations. The answer for Sethos' constellations is that. So I have C5, and I want C6 because I like Sethos, and I have some context for how I play Sethos in particular, which will give me value to having C6. But Sethos and Lanyan are the two 4-star characters that have been the most painful to get copies of for me, realistically. The reason I have El Hatham is because I wanted to try to get C6 Sethos. I didn't get C6 Sethos in his first banner. Anywho's, your fox have the derpy tongue. I need to go and use the more complicated software that lets me program some different things with the fox, because I wanna get it to do that. But I have the ability to have a derpy tongue. I have the ability to have some glasses. I have the ability to do... Anyways. So yeah, I want 4-star characters. I'm at C5 Sethos. I got C5 from the event when he was free. So like I only need 1. So 700 pulls should get me C6 Sethos, theoretically. I love 4-star acquisition in this game. So anyways, let me show, someone mentioned the fox and I want to show this quick. Let's see if this window capture will work properly. It is going to, I think. Bap. Look at that. This is from Shu. They shared it on my Discord. I think they had the what is they? Oh, just Sleepy Fox, which maybe was inspired by the fact that I was failing to sleep lately. So, yes, wonderful fan art of the creature, and I should learn from this creature's example and sleep more. It's been a struggle lately. It's been a struggle. It's fine. There's a very good chance it's just the passive stress of content creation and moving. So, yup. Anywho's, thank you for that. Also, while we're distracted, actually, let's get this out of the way. So one of my favorite comment, and this was mostly just funny to me, I broke down how I was like, no, actually, I understand where you're coming from kind of thing, where they suggested this because I think they're used to seeing two-piece Shenhe builds. But like, there was a comment on the Charlotte video that said, let's see, there we go. That said, oh, that's not positioned properly. There we go. That said my Shenhe was like not well built. Like she didn't have very much attack. My Shenhe is one of my best built characters as far as Akasha goes. Like I have a crown Shenhe with a 200 ER fab build with 40 crit rate and 2900 attack. This is an incredible, like one thing I cut out of the video was that I was going to mention that as far as comparing my Charlotte build on Noblesse to my Shenhe build on Noblesse, my Shenhe build is actually harder to get in my opinion, because Shenhe wants like this perfect conjunction of crit rate, attack, and ER to min-max her. It says E level 11 because I had her in a Skirk team. That's the Skirk passive update. So, like, Will Shenhe. So anyways, they said this build wasn't, like, they said basically, oh, if this build could be min-max more, maybe that's, like, part of the problem. But, like, I understand where they're coming from. I think that person is just used to seeing two-piece Shenhe builds, which is definitely not what you should do in a Skirk team. You definitely should not do two-piece Skirk. So yeah, like this is an incredibly, I said two-piece Skirk, two-piece Shenhe. This is an incredibly optimized and actually very unrelatable Shenhe build, quite frankly. So it's just really funny to me to see someone be like, yeah, your Shenhe could use some improvement. Like, are you sure? Are you sure? This is so like this is a harder build to get than my 230 ER build on whatever. Why is Skirk top 50%? Oh, it has the EM. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. It'll be fine. It doesn't matter. I have EM timepiece in preparation for Lunar Freeze. No, I'm using that EM timepiece, just in case you're not aware, for Sunfire Skirk right now. Because that's what I've been playing a bunch, just passively in the overworld and in farming. And unironically, this EM timepiece specifically, I have found is better than not using EM timepiece when I'm doing Melt Skirk. But that doesn't mean you should actually use it normally. So, anyways. As far as other... sorry, we're going to get distracted about artifacts. There's a couple things for artifacts that were notable. I'm planning, like, Varese is probably a unit I will level 90 soon, and I plan on most likely, like, you can see I farmed some of the resources when there was events running. I'm most likely going to double crown her. I like her enough. And I'm going to continue farming this domain to probably get improved pieces. So this is my current Varesa circlet, and it's like it's good. It has no bad rolls. It's a 3-line circlet, but you know the ideal Varesa circlet would be a 4-liner with crit damage with high roll starts, attack percent, ER, and then most likely flat attack. But you don't want rolls into flat attack. But like the flat attack doesn't matter that much, obviously. I got a new crit rate circlet yesterday. Is it this one? No. No. Where is it? Here. Yeah, this doesn't look that good, but this is a 4-liner, and it started with 5.3 attack percent. No, well, sorry, it was either 4.7 or 5.3. Either way, I know the additional attack percent rolls were low rolls. The first 2 rolls went into attack percent. I'm just like, oh, that's fine. That's good. And then it went into defense percent, and then it went into ER twice. And I was like, game, like statistically this should have just been an upgrade. Like it would have been unlikely for this not to be an upgrade, but like right now it's in like side grade category where like losing crit damage, gaining a little bit of attack percent, and gaining ER, and if the ER matters then this is better. But like now I have a freaking circlet I want to reroll for Varesa, because like this is like the god tier circlet for Varesa, other than the defense percent not being flat attack, whatever. And I do think I would like to min-max Varesa. But like, game, you can't do me dirty like that. Like I didn't want to have to use rerollers for this now. So this is the end game min-maxing problem where I am getting more artifacts that I need to reroll. So oh well. As far as stupid artifact luck things, I gotta also discuss the casual account today, actually, because believe it or not, I think I'm going to try to get 4P's Whimsy on Arlecchino on my casual account by using some elixirs for a circlet. And you'll understand why if I actually go show you the artifacts there. But anyways, I still think I need a double crit attack percent flower to really start min-maxing Varesa. This is extremely good. And I still have this 4-line piece, and I have this double crit attack percent piece to level, and I have this piece still. But I think with her signature weapon, I definitely need a bias towards crit rate. So like I need a better timepiece, and I need a better timepiece, this circlet being rerolled, and a better flower. And my Varesa is like really, it's already really good, to be clear. This is already a very good Varesa, but she can be very, 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 very good. Anyways, Sethos. Yes, that is a target for reroll. But well, okay. Like, it is smarter for me to reroll that circlet from Varesa than rerolling this circlet from Lanyon. It's just, I want to reroll the circlet from Lanyon and get, like, one more crit damage roll. Because then my VD build on her is, like, my monkey brain is happy with it being over 150 crit damage. Like, I just want one more crit roll, and I also have to keep the 2 attack percent rolls, because if I don't keep the 2 attack percent rolls, then so anyways, I will probably reroll that circlet. It's just whether or not I reroll that circlet sooner rather than later is the question, because like I want to reroll this goblet, for example, and this goblet. These are both 4-line electric goblets that could make a difference. So anywho's mid-max prototype Amber Varesa, that too. No. Anyway, so C6 Sethos. The weird thing with Sethos is like a lot of your utility out of Sethos is gonna come. Well, you want to level 90 him, and I am at the point where I'm definitely going to level his talents to level 12, but I've just been being a little bit conservative with how I want to use my Mora. But you can see I have the books for it already. But anyways, his damage, other than like typical level 90, his aggravate, unit, you want to have him level 90 for sure. Level his this, and level this, but like it's not really the end all be all. In particular, I'd say to level this if you're doing his charge attack playstyle, because a lot of his, actually either of his playstyles, it's not really the end all be all, because his passive here that gives him 700% of his EM as bonus damage for his shadow piercing shots. Actually, sorry, that's only his shadow piercing shots. So yes, his burst talent level does matter a bit more for his burst DPS playstyle, but for his charge attack damage playstyle, so much of his damage killings comes from this passive that like leveling his talent doesn't matter as much, which actually makes me maybe think maybe I should crown his burst. Versus doing 12-12. So, anywho's. I put him on a Wanderer's Troop build because I want to test this stream. Because one of the thing with C6 is it can give him a little bit of energy back. The problem with C6 is that like if you're doing a burst only playstyle on Sethos, C6 does nothing other than give you a free charge attack every so often, like every rotation. But whether or not it actually makes sense to use that is just it depends, I would say. But what I like for C6 is the potential, because my favorite playstyle I found in Sethos is, and this is part of the reason I like the Thundering Fury, or not even Thundering Fury, just higher builds that allow for some amount of higher amount of energy generation for Sethos and teams. Because the more energy you can get for Sethos, the more you are able to dynamically adapt to different situations, whether it be charge attacks spamming with level 1 or level 2 charge attacks, to do more electro application and or damage, right? Or doing burst and charge attack playstyle. And as far as like optimizing my Sethos gameplay goes, that's what I have enjoyed the most, is doing a Sethos burst and then transitioning into like 3 or 4 Sethos charge attacks. Usually 3 if I'm doing the burst beforehand. And that requires like 120 energy being generated in a rotation, which sounds like an insane amount of energy. But with double electro, with Fischl, with Sethos directly refunding 12 energy and like Thundering Fury doing 2 skills per rotation, it's not that hard to do with an energy focused build on him, whether it be with Fab Bow instead of Slingshot, made a video on that, or just with an ER timepiece, yada yada, right? And I don't know that C6 will free me from doing an ER timepiece is my point, but like, I want this as an option. I want to have more options, right? So I'm going to risk going for, I have like 45 pity, I think. I'm gonna, like, so in case anyone's not aware, I want to save my resources for upcoming units in 6.0. I think Anefa is an interesting character and I would value having her, but right now I think I value saving my resources a little bit more, and I think I will get plenty of enjoyment out of Anefa as a character on my Polearm only account. But if I end up getting her early, oh, that's fine. Like, but anyways, so I don't think I want to risk more than like 20 or 30 wishes. Like, I don't want to go to pity to try to get C6 Sethos. But I would be a little bit salty if I have to even make that decision with how like painful getting previous Sethos copies have been for me. Yeah, I'm at 45. So like doing 20 pulls, it's like something I can be like, okay, sure, I'll do 20 pulls. And if I get an early Anefa or an early Dia, you know what? Hey, that's cool. It would make me have lost my pity, but you know, it's fine if I get something useful. And if I lose a 50-50 to someone else, then that's fine. It's a 50-50 that loss. That's a guarantee for someone. That makes things easy to plan in another way. Although it would make it awkward if like Lonyon reruns on second half, then I probably just go. Then I probably end up with Mulan C1. Oh well. I mean, yeah, I could wish on Sitlali's banner. Again, if I wasn't a content creator, I think I would probably wish on Sitlali banner. But like, Sitlali banner is such an enormous damage upgrade for different contexts. Like, I want, but also, this is not something that is like easy to, like, C1 is annoying to turn off on Sitlali. C2 is basically impossible to turn off in most contexts. So like it just does too much. 125 EM for her is easy to turn off. 250 EM for the on-field character, very hard to turn off. Like if I was going to use Sitlali with Dia, I don't normally have 250 EM on Dia, so I can't remove 250 EM from her build to turn off this, right? And then the red shred is obviously not something you can turn off. So is it possible? Can I go into a damage calculator and turn off C2 Sitlali by like purposely like putting the wrong main stats, like whatever, and like making the average damage be the same as if I didn't have C2 Sitlali on Dia? Yes, but like it's difficult, and like C1 already does enough. I don't know. C2 is definitely the territory of like, yes, this is achievable for someone to do, but like not necessarily sensible and definitely very not relatable. Having a C1 R1 Sitlali with as good of a Sitlali build as I also have available is already unrelatable enough to me, and I don't know. It would almost be a no-brainer for me to go for C2 Sitlali for my own personal fun value, if I could turn off constellations. So, anyways, I'd rather have Anefa as a new character for the random scenarios where Anefa might be fun. even if I don't think I'll get insane value from her. So, anyways, I put Sethos on like a more what people would probably describe as like a typical Wanderer's Troop build for him, where you don't have to build Sethos. If you're just going to do a burst every rotation and do like optimized walk canceling, you don't really have to build extra energy on Sethos. So I don't know. I want to go see how this build performs real quick with like a typical aggravate team, and then see how the dynamic of the energy works in my context with Shalonen in particular. Because I have C2 Shalonen, right? So that's important context because of the fact that C2 Shalonen for Sethos giving 25 energy to Sethos is essentially like C2 Shalonen is basically just a better version of Sethos C6. Like I already have it, but what's even better than having it is having both, right? Like having energy refund from his thing, which only triggers on charge attack, so it's 20 energy refund. Like yes, this is just better. This is just better than having C6 Sethos, but very minorly so. And what's even better is having both. That's my vibe, if I can make use of it in some form. So what I kind of want to see is if I want to like try to pay attention to Sethos' energy in Abyss or whatever, and go and see if doing a burst and a 3 charge attack. We didn't have enough energy, that's fine. A burst and 3 charge attack playstyle is doable on him. 250 balls for one set. I sure hope not. I don't think I need his C6 that badly. I'll be a little salty not being able to get it. But anyways. Is your polearm only account all polearms? Like even if you don't like the character, you'll get it because of the weapon? Yep. Like to be clear, if I started a polearm only account today, I would not have that policy. But I started my polearm only account 3 years ago, so you know. Okay, we're gonna do second side. We're gonna do the typical like this aggravate team format. Again, it is worth mentioning that like one of the reasons I'm interested in Nefa is her EM buff and personal damage. I think it makes probably the most compelling case I have seen for Sethos with Hydro, because let's say something like just a Nefa Singcho. Well, Singcho has a problem. Like you can't do the burst and enter type playstyle or without having some downtime in the Hydra application. But you know, a Nefa Singcho Sethos Nahida, right? I think is a very interesting idea for Nefa's personal damage plus Sethos, you know, being able to trigger blooms. Sethos, like with this build I have on Sethos on Slingshot with buffs up from Nahida and Nefa, will have like I think 800 EM. So he's going to be triggering bloom damage. Like his bloom damage is going to be like, you know, almost full like 30k hyper bloom damage, right? Not the maximized because it's not, we don't have like Gilded Dreams buff or anything, right? But there's enough EM buffing going on that like the hyper bloom damage is going to be very good, and he has his EM scaling talent damage and whatever, so he'll get his normal aggravate damage plus bloom damage plus Nefa's damage plus, you know, of course Nahida's damage, and I don't know. I think that could be really fun. It will also, and there'll be the option of doing, you know, Farina instead potentially. Mostly because I have C2 Farina, I can do C2 Farina min-maxing shenanigans as normal, but I also am kind of more interested in the less, I think Singcho and Nefa Sethos is potentially the most interesting team in a while that I have considered using Singcho in, like on an idea level. That would actually motivate me to min-max Singcho as something more than just a Hydro Plier, and instead as his personal damage, right? So, isn't Nefa a good teammate for Lanyan? She can be, yeah. But the problem is, if we're playing DPS Lanyan, who am I replacing? If I'm doing like Bennett, Farina, Lanyan, right? Bennett, Farazan, sorry, with Lanyan. Who's being replaced? Farazon? Okay, then my animo damage goes way down. For Rina, well then my animo and non-animo damage goes way down, and like I just swapped out a damage dealer for a damage dealer that doesn't buff anywhere near as much, right? And also, wait, I removed the Hydro, so Inefa doesn't actually function there, so I have to put in Hydro again. So like the answer is I remove Farazon, and it just becomes a team where like it works, but it's like Inefa. If Inefa Lanyan is just another example of like, yes, it is like where you can get meaningful value from building Lanyan for damage on VV in that team, but most of what Lanyan is doing is buffing the other units, not necessarily doing a ton of damage herself. Whereas Farazon, Lanyan, Bennett, Farina very much is like Lanyan is doing a very large component of the team's damage. Not on her own again, but like it feels much more like DPS Lanyan, whereas it's more like most other formats of DPS Lanyan tend to be more wheelchairy, but Lanyan is just synergistic with the wheelchair and buffing the offfielders. Like it's still fun. I like it, but with how much I enjoy Lanyan, the only thing I could foresee buffing Lanyan at this point is if a Lunar Swirl character releases. So we'll see. Anyways, let's we're gonna test the thing I mentioned. See if I like this. Yeah, that's fine. Because I have not meaningfully tested Sethos on a Wanderer's Troop build with this amount of ER at least. I just want to see what the energy situation is like with C2 Shalonen, and then I can just try to get a feel for like, okay, would C6 Sethos result in me like getting extra charge attacks in a way that I feel like matters, right? Or can I safely just be like, I have C2 Shalonen, I don't care about Sethos C6 at all, right? That's kind of my vibe I'm trying to figure out here. We'll use... Why not? Why not? I just made a video about Charlotte, may as well glaze her some more. There's comments, by the way, on the video like, oh, your gameplay is terrible. I'm aware. Like, but I don't think my gameplay is that terrible, to be clear. Like, I think my gameplay is, like, my dash cancels are bad enough that I think I'm, generally speaking, not gaining much value from my dash cancels. But I have tested, like, gameplay comparison of doing dash cancels versus not doing dash cancels. And my dash canceling is at least generally good enough to not be a damage downgrade, right? So that's why I do dash cancels, is to potentially get a little bit of additional damage. And also to practice getting better at it, right? Like, it's not a downside to do the dash cancels with my skill level, but like, I think part of the point of that video is that for me being like, you know, what I would describe as a lower skill Skirk player at minimum still right now, I think that is part of what makes Charlotte better. Is like, yeah, if I play Shenhe better, I think I would maybe prefer Shenhe a little bit more. But I don't do dash cancels perfectly, and I don't do optimal combos as optimal as I could. And I just find it a lot easier and more enjoyable to optimize around Charlotte than Shenhe with her in her last slot. So that's all that video really was. Anyways, and like I think it's a little bit silly to be like, Charlotte. No one is really saying this in the comments, but I think it's really silly to like try to argue that Charlotte isn't meta because my gameplay was bad, right? Like, most players don't have incredible gameplay. Most players are, even if they know a lot about the combat and play decently, probably going to play closer to me than closer to someone that dash cancels really well, right? So, anyways. But different players will have different results. And that was kind of the lesson of the video, is that context of like player preferences and context for the enemies matters a lot more than anything else for determining minor nuances like who the best unit is in a Skirk team. What happens if I do this? I didn't even do this in the video before. Also, I think I still have, do I have an EM timepiece on it right now? I think I have an EM timepiece on it right now. It doesn't matter. I mean, okay, I don't know if bursting was faster there. Yeah, I kind of wish Lanyan rerun, because, like, I don't know. If Lanyan reruns on a random meta that doesn't make any sense, I'm going to be oh well, I don't know. Like, if Lanyan reruns with Chaska and Mulani, I'm not against the idea of getting a duplicate of them. If Lanyan reruns on new characters in 6.0, I'd be fine with that too, right? So we'll see. Oh crap! Oh my! That was immediately terrible. Oh, I got put. Okay, I was like, why am I so slow? I got hit by cryo. That was. I want to redo. I want to redo because I was like, what is happening? Why can't I do the wall cancels properly? It was because of the cryo application that I got hit by, and that made him slow, and I wasn't used to that. Oh well. I dashed to the side. What? Yeah, it's not really faster to burst. It's not in this chamber. I just feel like I lack skill. I mean, the vast majority of players lack in skill in some level. But, you know, Genshin is not a game that's just skill. It's not a game that's just having good builds or having the right characters. It's a mix of both. So this is a context where like that. Oh well, okay. I don't know why I didn't release my charge attack 3 times in a row. I should have just used level 1 charge attacks. I don't know why I did that. That was dumb. Sethos. Ah, crap. I did this poorly. I did this really poorly. Sethos can really shred through these shields, just in case anyone's not aware. If I line them up properly. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Ow. Look. Yeah. 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 Speaking of lacking skill, the peak can basically only be brute forced by double res shredder, or by using Verecid to break its rocks. Who's the peak? I don't know why I didn't charge that there. Oh, the local legend. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious how Charlotte is going to compare to other units with the Skirk team. Because I'm most likely... I've decided, by the way, I'm going to activate C1 Skirk after the new Sejun Onslaught. Because I want to see how a C0 Skirk performs against the Electro Turtle. But... I am really curious if I'm going to find that I like Charlotte more against the turtle or not. I'm going to guess I'm going to prefer double hydro to keep it freeze more consistently, but I don't know if that will actually matter. Like, Farina might still be fine, and I might still just really prefer Charlotte. But I also bet against the Electro Turtle because you don't need the additional like cryo hits for the gauge because that's just not a factor. Just keeping it frozen is a factor. Like, I think I maybe will prefer Mika, but I don't have a leveled Mika right now to test, so anyways. Or C1 is not that big a deal, as it turns out. No, I don't think it is that big a deal, but it's not something that's easy to, like, remove from a factor. Like, it's not just a straight... Like, the way it deals damage is not just in a way... Or the way that increases your damage is not in a way that's, like, easy. Like, I can just power down the build, and then this is, like, equivalent. Like, you can, kind of, but, like, not in an easy way and require, like... Like, I can't... It's not a constellation I can easily turn off, right? So, yeah. Why? Okay. Oh, I have cryo on me again. God dang it, you buttholes. Just heal. Wait, is he dead? No, he's not dead. Okay. Frick you. Can you stop teleporting? Oh my god. I am doing this so terribly. Why, I missed? Oh my god. Bruh. Okay, well this was terrible. Everything about this was terrible. It's fine. I don't think I had to do that. I probably should have just tried to get energy and then bursted. Why are you over there? Why did I do that? I don't know. Worth mentioning, I didn't put Shalona on scroll, just on instructors, which is also not ideal for various reasons. But okay, well, this was terrible gameplay, I will say. Like, I don't think C6 Sethos is gonna help me here. But this is a little bit of a weird boss. Yeah, Yelan's extra Hydra app is C2. Yep. Like, Yelan, I would hope. So I have found Yelan C. By the way, like, should I go do that comparison? I could have done that comparison. Maybe I should have done that in the video. Here's a Yelan C6, non-powered down, performing worse than Charlotte. Should I go make that comparison after I finish with Sethos here? Oh, why did I not think of that? I totally forgot. But I'm pretty sure the last time I tested that, C6 Yelan not powered down was worse than Charlotte. Okay, I'll go do that. Yeah, that wouldn't be the case in Abyss, by the way, because like C6 Yelan's front-loaded damage can just speed run Abyss chambers, right? But anyways. Oh, terrible. EM Sands and Goblet for stronger shields be good for this team. Chopin. That please. Yeah, there's no. So if you're not building, if you don't need to build defense for a signature weapon, there's no reason not to. So yes, I would say. Shalona makes basically no crystallized shards. I mean, a full EM Shalonen on Fav will make a crystallized shard that can like tank 5,000 HP. And it's usually pretty easy to pick up the shard, and Shalonen and that extra 5,000 HP functionally for Sethos will matter. If you played Sethos, you know he die. He die. Plus 5,000 HP to Sethos, if that's all it is. Plus plus 1 instance of interruption resistance at minimum is valuable. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways. I didn't put Dendra on the one dude. I should have considered that. Not bad. Should have done a charge attack before that. Oh, what am I doing? What is this gameplay? What is this gameplay? Yes, with Nahida here, to be clear, I'm not getting many crystallized shards. That's true. A lot of times before I had played this team, by the way, with Kirara instead of Nahida. I like doing Kirara actually on Key of Kajna Suit, because Kirara and Key of Kajna Suit can do a very healthy amount of EM buffing and is obviously a better shield. So I do like C4 Kirara a lot instead of Nahida for Sethos. If I didn't have C2 Nahida, I probably wouldn't even consider using Nahida here, quite frankly. She does have AoE value, though, to be clear, and like shield breaking value is higher. Yeah. You know what, I should probably use a Scopier burst for front-loaded damage in this chamber. But oh well. Is this gonna kill? Well, not even close. Why did I think that? If you use a character that wants to stay away, then picking up shards is an issue. Well, usually with Shalonen, you pick up the shards with Shalonen. Usually.
Your journey ends here.
Do this first. Wait for the butthole. Do this, I guess, while we wait. This. I should be standing near him. Bap. Really? I hate you. Okay.
Excuse me.
God damn. Stop it! Okay, well, gameplay, not my strength today. Oh boy. Okay, well, I feel like with Fischl in particular, at least based on the energy I'm seeing from Sethos, please die. I don't think it matters. Slap.
Excuse me.
I don't have any energy. Oh, frick. Oops. Oh, you're on cooldown. Oh boy. Well, okay, we should have been fine here. We can be fine here. But way up optimization. Key Rubber needs key very much. Yeah, she gains a lot from it, for sure. She turns into a little bit different of a character, utility-wise, with it. Real burst here. A little bit of extra damage that will functionally give us extra damage for the next enemy. Yeah, see, we got an N5, the transition to the new enemy. That's the kind of gameplay, like, I am very bad at optimizing dash canceling gameplay. And like I said, I've said this before, how like I like Stygian for like giving me an actual reason to care about doing things like optimizing dash canceling, but I'm still very bad at it. Or any kind of cancel tech really in general. I'm like pretty good at dash canceling plunges usually, not always. But anyways, like what I'm good at doing is like recognizing situations like that where it's like, okay, I should use the Scofier burst here because that little bit of additional damage, even if I don't need it for the healing, is enough to like make it so, hey, I can get my big multiplier N5 hit on Skirk on the next enemy spawning rather than this enemy, right?
Your journey ends here, Lord of Sand. Your sacrifice is ready.
Okay. This. Wasn't positioned very well for that, but it's fine. That was much better. Okay, and we do this. No, I should save that. Okay. Wait, no. He sucks my energy away. I shouldn't have saved that. Okay. Well, here, do this. We are using C6 or we are definitely abusing C2. You know what? It's fine. It's fine because why? We have a team that doesn't need. We have a team that doesn't need. We can abuse my constellations. And you know what? Way-obs are? Way-obs are a context. Are definitely one of those contexts where having, you know, extra energy is good, right? Okay. Okay. I am feeling like just way-ob context that I kind of want a C6. Like it's gonna give more flexibility. Like it's like I don't need it on a spreadsheet level thing, but it gives me more adaptability. I should have saw that coming. I should have had children healing going. Never pulled enough on Weapon Bender to get a pity. I'm thinking of going for a Nepha weapon because I have Lolly and not her weapon. So if I lose, I win, right? But yeah, I think so. If you have a use case where you can get value from it, I will say that the main problem with the Lolly and Nepha weapon banner is the two best fab weapons are not there. In particular, the best weapon in the game is not there, which is also a Nepha's signature weapon. Like, for some reason, they chose to run a Nepha without her signature weapon. I know it's weird. They do that sometimes. They just release characters and they run them without their signature weapons. So, like, that's, I'd say, the main problem with the Nepha weapon banner. It doesn't have her signature weapon. No, I am being silly, but I'm actually kind of being serious. Even if you have, like, to be clear, if you get a Nepha signature weapon, her actual signature weapon, you probably don't use Fab over her signature, right? Yes, I mean Fab lands. You probably don't use Fab over her signature. I clear that much faster. Because like Fab lands is basically better than any other weapon option other than her signature weapon, essentially. Like, it's basically her signature weapon, and I think it's a dick move not to run Fab lands. So, anyways, I thought if you lose, you get the other weapon on the weapon better. Not guaranteed. Now you only need one fate point, right, to guarantee. So if you lose, you have a 25% chance to get a standard banner weapon, unless your previous weapon you had lost to was already like the one weird thing with the weapon banner as far as guarantee carryover is that if say I go to pity on this weapon banner and I lose the 25/75s to a standard banner weapon, right? So you can go in the details here. You can see it's a 75% chance when you get a 5-star of one of the 2 featured 5-stars. And then there's a 25% chance of getting one of the other 5-star weapons. So like a Skyward Blade or something, right? The same things you can get from the standard banner. And if I choose not to, like, that would give me a fate point, right, towards Mawika's weapon. But if I don't use that fate point, I'll lose the guarantee for Mawika's weapon. But I still technically have a guarantee, because if you lose the 25/75, when you go to the next banner, so this would be a Nefa and Sitlali weapon banner, because I lost the 25/75, the next banner would be guaranteed the next 5-star to be one of the 2 5-star weapons. So instead of a 75% chance, it's a 100% chance of one of these 2. So it becomes like so if I only want, if I'm in a situation where I only want a Nefa's weapon, it's a 50-50 in that case. So there is technically a small aspect of like a carryover that happens, but that's almost, that used to be much more relevant when it was a 2 fate point system instead of a 1 fate point system, because when it was 2 fate points, right, it was so much more expensive to like go full in to commit to getting a weapon, right? Whereas now I think like you just wish a weapon banner because you want a particular weapon and you have like 120, 130-ish, maybe a little bit more if you're unlucky, to guarantee getting the thing, right? But yeah, anyways, the quality of the 4-stars on weapon banner is significantly, I think, what can determine how relevant it is to wishing a weapon banner. And with how many polearm units really want Fav nowadays, and especially with, you know, polearm supports in Stygian Onslaught and the Stygian Onslaught 0 energy requirement. That's the funny thing with Stygian Onslaught to me, right? Is like, it doesn't feel like Stygian Onslaught shills 5-star weapons for anything other than on-field DPSs, and that's really only dire difficulty. And it feels like it shills support like Favs more than signature weapons for supports most of the time. So yeah. Well, do your Sitlali polls. I was considering when I do the waiting room stream, I'll have like a form going maybe, so people can submit to the form, and give me and then I can select people from the form when the patch goes live, and we can do viewer wishing. But it's going to be like, you're going to have to be present while live. I don't feel like planning things ahead of time, right? And organizing ahead of time like I've done before for viewer wishes. So I think it's just easier to do it while live. So if you're available while live, yes. But so we're talking though, like if you're in EU time zone in the middle of the night. I don't know if you're in EU. Anyways, let's try to play this well.
Here, Lord of Sand. Your sacrifice is ready.
This. I'm gonna do this again. Well, wait, I already had energy. I don't need to do that. Whatever. Yeah, like for way up optimization, like I had C2 Shalon in here, right? So again, like I think C6 Sethos is meaningfully less relevant from the context of having C2 Shalon. But from you put cry on me, wow. Changes the timing of cancels. Okay. From a non C2 Shalonen context, okay. I think C6 Sethos would be very desirable. It's like barely relevant with C2 Shalonen, I think. Like, I can still minorly see situations where like, yep, I would like that extra energy. Is my vibe. Whoop. This chamber is a fun one to optimize. Sethos walk-ins is fun, by the way. Doing viewer polls? Yeah, so that's what I was saying. I will do viewer polls, but like you're gonna have to be watching the live stream for me to do them. Any ZZZ today? I only have 2 hours and 10 more minutes until D&D time, so we'll see what I have time for. What? My brain. I just By the way, I hope the crash out of me, like, I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to keep in like the 5 minutes of me trying to get Shenhe to clear the white shield on both enemies. I just got stubborn and like I was like, it has to be doable. Like Shenhe has to be nearly equivalent to Charlotte here, right? But I do want to emphasize, like, Charlotte just is like, it was immediately very easy in this chamber to get through both white shields. I hope that was entertaining though. Yeah, I'd be very surprised here, even with an EM timepiece on Skirk, if I don't manage to get through this white shield. Yeah. Wait. Did I get... No, did I? Did I technically not get through it there? I don't know, whatever. It's close enough, considering EM timepiece, but... You convinced me to build Charlotte specifically for Overseer. Yeah, like I'm glad. I definitely wanted that in the, like, I chose to put this chamber thing in the video with the Charlotte team. Oh gosh, he is very close to dead. Just because, like, I was like, you know what, this is a good demonstration of, like, there are enemy mechanics other than the Overseer that also can make Charlotte technically be better. And yeah, so like the specific nuances of Shenhe versus Charlotte is just going to change depending on what's going on in the current game's content. So, but yeah, specifically for Overseer is, I think, the most obvious and easy to notice context for many players. Was my overall framing though. Okay. I really need to heal on Shalon, and I'm gonna die from a little baby dinosaur. I'm being really coy and trying to run away from them. I ran out of stamina. Frick. Oops. I don't have a cryo DPS, but I know she's useful for shield. Yeah, she is. And like building Charlotte is just a matter of putting a bunch of ER on her, right? So. Yep. If I actually had an attack timepiece, that would have been a one rotate too. I am using the signature weapon right now, but I am on an EM timepiece, so yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. It's just funny to me how, like, Charlotte consistently enables that, and you know, one of the premium 5-star options does not, right? For that chamber, it's a minor thing, but a thing that definitely does matter, because like getting your energy up for the next rotation or being able to just one rotate it is a meaningful difference in time, right? Do this. Do this. Make the boy not dead. He almost got hit there before he got a heal. I tried to press his skill there because I'm used to Thundering Fury on him. Okay, I should have been able to get these things deaded in one rotation if I had played this better, but oh well. Please, oh my god, okay. By the way, this thing without Pyro is kind of cooked. Like, it has so much more HP without Pyro. Don't have those. I'm gonna do this because I'm scared. By the way, if you use Kazuha here instead of Shalonen, you could actually have Pyro, because I believe you can swirl. Yeah, you can self-swirl the Pyro that applies to you from the ground. I should... Oh, I didn't hit him. Whoopsies. Ow. Stop talking that. Stop it! I mean, at least I'm still hitting you, but like... I missed. Why'd I do that? Yeah, I think I want C6 Sethos, particularly, you know, just from a context of like being able to play without C2 Shalom too. Which would likely happen if I get an effort for him, right? So, I don't know, it's just going to give me more build options to do more different things with him, more adaptability. Ah, man, I want it. Yeah, that's my conclusion. I want it. This is, I was purposely testing this. I know I'm going to fail to clear here, but I could definitely clear this if I played better. I'm not going to worry about it. This is obviously a context where putting Kazuha in this team right now instead of Shalona would be way better, because I can deal with the boss mechanics. So, although yeah, that would have actually reduced the sustainability of the team. This is not ideal for this Abyss, to say the least. And I'm not going to expect him to be ideal for every single Abyss. He is a little bit restrictive for where he shines the best, and that's fine. That's kind of most characters in the game. I just need one copy. So that's my conclusion. I think I'm willing to risk 20 pulls because I'm at 45 pity. I will definitely risk at least 20 pulls for getting Sethos C6. And if we get an early 5-star, that's fine. If I don't get a Sethos in 20 pulls, we'll see. We'll see. Because maybe I'll end up liking Anefa a lot, right? And maybe I'll end up seeing something like Anefa with Sethos. Because I'll be able to like borrow someone's account potentially, right? That has a built Sethos, and pulled Anefa, and I can try Anefa and Sethos together potentially, right? And see if I like that. So yeah, we shall see. One copy equals 2 5-stars, probably. Probably. Sethos has already caused me to get 1 extra 5-star. So I could see it happening again. What I would adore, my favorite circumstance to happen would definitely be getting an early 50-50 loss to Dia. Like, that would mean a C4 Dia, and then I get C5 Dia from the standard selector, and then get 1 copy of Dia from like a Sumero Chronicle banner most likely, and then I have C6 Dia. Like, losing one more 50-50 to Dia could be such a big deal for me. So, rewards good next patch? They should be a lot better than this patch, because it's an exploration patch. Yep.
Thank you for
This Lanyon banner would take him to C2 ineffable to get C6 free. What is C2 ineffable? Oh, Nefa, derp. I mean, well, okay, if Lanyon was on banner and I got a Nefa, like if Lanyon was on banner, I would probably go to pity, right? And then if I won the 50-50 for a Nefa, then I will probably switch to Silali. And I would just have to spend 8 months mulling over whether or not I would ever want to activate C2 Silali if I ended up getting C2 Silali. The fact that Lanya is not on banner means the reality where I get a Nefa and Silali C2 from this is very unlikely. Surely that won't happen. Surely I don't get two of the featured 5-stars before 1 copy of Sethos. Surely.
I have high hopes for this journey.
Okay, let's go back to the Shenhe team because I want to get Shenhe to friendship level 10. Bap. Let's go here. Not here. Let's go. Actually, I should do the anecdotes. I wonder, for the rest of the stream, I want to go on to the casual account a little bit and do, I think, farming. But I also am tempted to just do anecdotes. Wait, when does the event end? Okay, we might just do boring event content. Oh, it ends in a day. Yeah, I should definitely do this right now. On all my accounts. Okay, sorry. I'm going to subject you guys to event content. Oh, I forgot. Okay, we'll do the farming here. I forgot. I was going to go do the comparison to Charlotte versus C6 Yelan. Again, if I recall correctly, I did test this in the past, and Charlotte performed better than C6 Yelan. I've winning is around 78 wishes free to play, it says. Yeah. So, not incredible, but better than this patch. Wow. Oh yeah, the game gave me a death percent, another death percent double crit timepiece in Navia's set from Strongbox yesterday. a little salty about that. It's like, stop, please, just give me a double crit attack percent, and then I can use my offset goblet. It's just like, I'm not going to use, like, I don't dislike Navia, but I'm pretty confident I'm not, I mean, min roll, low roll, but I'm pretty confident I'm not gonna use Navia enough that I need to, like, min max her. But, like, I want to be able to use my good offset goblet, right? But it requires a good timepiece onset. So, like, I don't know. Like, Gene, whatever. How did you not have Pyron? Wow. And I've, like, never seen... I can't believe how garbage all my attack percent timepieces have been in this set. Like, it's stupid. It's so stupid to me that I somehow have this actually nonsense god tier EM timepiece on Skirk's set, and I just can't see a single, like, not even 3-liners. I just cannot find any double crit attack timepieces. I'm just... Like, how do I have this nonsense, or sorry, like, you know what? It's fine. I can join the cope train of, like, Lunar Freeze is going to make it so EM is a relevant stat to have on her. And this might be the ideal Skirk build in the future, just in general, surely. Definitely. It's fine. Don't min-max Skirk. It's not worth it. No, like, there's a 98% chance that, assuming Lunar Freeze exists, Lunar Freeze is going to be balanced in a way that doesn't make it make sense to build additional EM. Like, it's going to be in a Nepha situation where, like, the unit might buff your on-fielder's EM to give you a little bit of additional reaction damage, but you don't want to build additional EM, generally speaking, for the reaction damage. It's almost assuredly what it's going to be. Free me. Free me from this strong box. Nope. Alright. Oh well. Okay. Well, nothing artifact day. That's fine. Well. I am willing to check that, the recipes. You never know. You never know. It is not possible anymore, but it was possible for that to roll double crit and roll well enough to beat out this piece. Unlikely, but possible. Where's Nicole actually from? Zenless Zone 0. Okay, I think we're done on... Well, wait, no, we're not done on this account. I have to do this. Also, I still have to do this. I forgot about that. Maybe we'll do that on the waiting room stream. Or maybe I just won't. I keep forgetting about it. Distracted by things. It's fine. Alright, let's see how long this takes. Hopefully not that long. We'll see. EM unfreeze, that's just shatter. Yeah, exactly. Waiting room stream better be Mario Kart or else. Mario Kart online has gone to shit though. But yeah, no, I'd still be down. I can join the Mario Kart World Discord server, and why the lag though? I can join the Mario Kart World Discord server and join, like, room lobbies rather than the online. I don't feel like having a rant about that, but, like, Nintendo just decided to basically be like, we have designed a really good game with parts of it that people are not enjoying. Let's force people to play the parts that people don't enjoy and remove the ability to enjoy the parts that they do enjoy the most. That's going to improve people's enjoyment and number of people that want to play the game. So, anyways, I kind of haven't played much because of that. I've still watched a bunch. I've been learning about the game more because of Shorecat and a little bit of other content I've watched. But, like, wall bouncing. But, you know. What's the piercing one? Crap. Should use that in the first place. Let's Oh, that was terrible. Oh, they've got frozen. I see. This event felt terribly on mobile. Why? What was bad about it on mobile? I'm just curious. I have no idea. Okay. I don't like how few piercing things they give. Oh, I see. I see. Freezing makes him take a lot extra damage. Okay. I wonder if we could have killed them both at the same times. Bet. It annoys me that this didn't kill all of them, but oh well. Okay. Movement of the cannon was terrible. Ah, I see. I see. I feel like using the reaction things here didn't make sense, but maybe. Nice. What? Shoot. Should have fired earlier. What? Weird, okay. What the fuck? Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Almost failed. Tough opponents incoming. Final wave. How exciting. Why is there... They had a tutorial for the bouncy walls, and there was barely any bouncy walls. This takes a little too long to do, I'll be honest, for how many stages they are. I apologize for subjecting you all to this. This is like, I think, not very entertaining content. I have nothing meaningful to say. I don't know. It's just a very whatever event to me. Bounce walls are fun in later stages, yeah. We can vaporize things now, it seems. Or no, we can melt. Does rev melt versus forward melt matter? I wonder. Or did they make it just the same damage in either direction? I guess we can test here. So theoretically, it would be stronger to do cryo versus this. I did 2. No, it seems like it's the same. What? What? They did not hit the red yet. I call actual baloney. Yes, but anyways, the reaction direction doesn't matter. Lame. We like seeing you suffer. I don't know if this is suffering, is it? What? It only put cryo on one of them? Really? What the? Oh my god. Okay. I don't even have piercing shots anymore. No. Oh, break me. Okay. Well, this stage is officially a lot more annoying. For really dumb reasons. Okay. I'm gonna just use these. Using too many of the elemental bullets. Throwing for content, yeah. Okay. I like that they keep their pyro aura after they get hit by that. I can appreciate that at least. Wow. Gameplay. One more wave. I'm gonna get the full rewards, right? I didn't screw up so badly that I don't get the rewards. Surely. Bap. Oh, they had. God dang it. Oh my gosh. No. Okay. Frick you. Whatever. Whatever. How many do you need for the rewards? I didn't. Oh. What? Wait, what is 6 combat power? That pisses me off so much. That's health? Fucking, of course it is. Why doesn't they just say health? It's a freaking combat power. What are you doing, Hoyo? Just call it health. You're doing it too mathematically. I'm aware. I'm aware. I call actual BS on the hitbox, though, for when they cross the line. Actually BS. It makes it feel really terrible. I will not subject you guys to redoing that. I'm also not even going to subject you guys to doing it elsewise outside of this account because I don't even want to do this anymore. I'll do it during D&D. It should be something I can do during D&D. Oh, grouping. Oh, that's cool, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's not terrible. It's just a problem of, like... the example of, like, there where, like, I was thinking too much. Like, the gameplay here is you think about how to do certain bullets and to get extra value out of individual bullets. But in practice, it seems to just be, no, attack, spam your bullets and you're chilling, right? Mostly. And that's kind of bad design. if it's just better to be mindless with it than actually engage with the mechanics, what's the point of the mechanics, right? I'm almost out of, like, pyro things. Oops, that was whatever. Yeah, it's the problem with, yeah, a lot of Genshin's event design in general, for sure. Okay. Really? That thing not dying actually angers me. Ah! Okay. Where do I find these calculators? What calculators? What? What do you mean? this Sethos? Yeah, exactly. We have piercing shots at Sethos. Wow, perfect result. Crazy. Is the fact that I didn't freaking get is that one Hilly trail I got through at the end really what missed? I think it might be. I feel like I might have only lost that by one. That annoys me so much. I don't want to have to redo it. Whatever. How many have I done? There's only one more. Okay, cool. Riveting gameplay, indeed. If you had a chance with the Primos video, if you could get C0R1 for a Nefa, I mean, there's calculators for that. I mean, you can. It's so the amount of pulls you're probably able to get in the first half of the patch, assuming you only play the new content, is probably around like 50 if you're being conservative. So add 50 on whatever your current resources is right now, and then you need, if you have no pity built up, no guarantee. That's okay. I didn't expect that to go away. I feel like it's just better to do this. Wait, I have like no shots of that. Oh, what the frick? Oh, let's retry. So like 130 if you want to be like relatively realistic, but realistic worst case scenarios, but not necessarily the worst case scenario. Okay, this one's really annoying. But interesting actually. So, okay. Oh, you have freaking, okay. No. Okay. But yes, it's like not that hard, right? So you need, if you want to like plan realistic worst case scenarios. Yeah, that's satisfying. We're talking in the neighborhood of like 200. Plan like 280 pulls. Oh frick! How did I miss those? Okay. You probably will not end up actually needing that many pulls. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. But it's good to plan for that scenario. And ultimately, like the main obvious acquisition path. Oh boy. Okay, nice. The main obvious acquisition path is first you figure out how much it's going to take you to get an F at a baseline, because that's far more important than weapon. And hey, look! Oh wow! It took you only 50 pulls to get an F because you got lucky, right? The situation happened like happened with me with Skirk, where I did 20 pulls and I got Skirk, or was it 10 pull? I don't remember. I got Skirk C0 like immediately, and that gave me a lot more freedom to like, okay, now the chance of me getting C1 R1 suddenly goes from I did not have anywhere near enough pulls to guarantee this to now I can probably get it, right? With a little bit more luck, and I was able to. But that was definitely very lucky, I would say, for me to get C1 R1 Skirk with the amount of pulls I spent on the banner. I would not expect that. You don't expect or plan around that, though. It's just you adapt and you change your decisions on what you might risk going for based on how the RNG goes. Let me do this. Oh, I was really hoping that was going to kill 3. Okay, you want to do this. Ooh. No, I didn't bounce. Sad. Wait. Just spam. That one was fun. That one was like, if all the stages were like that, but just like different configurations, this would have been a fun event. This is a flaw Mihoyo makes, I think, with a lot of events, right? Where they like, oh, let's have 8 tutorial events and then have one that's actually kind of engaging, right? That's so often the case with like these weird minigame events. I'm gonna redo this one because I'm annoyed. But you're thinking way too much. Sue me. It makes it more f***ing engaging to actually engage with the gameplay. I'm sorry. Like, I don't have to think on, like, most of my Genshin gameplay in general in the Genshin, like, the context of the entire game and how invested my accounts are and yada yada. Like, I just don't have to. But I do anyways because it's more engaging. And it's the same thing for events. I just... Anyways. I'm aware you don't need to actually think that much in this. But it makes the things more engaging if I do think. I just use cryo against that thing. Bap. Bap. How did you... What? I hate the AoE on this poopy. I forgot I had the spread shot, by the way. Wow. Is next patch going to have a music event? Is it? I'm terrible at the rhythm events, but I'm down. They're fun. They're always fun. What? I don't know why I use that one. Doesn't matter. Why is the AoE in the barrel so large? They're too strong. It makes it boring. Okay. Oops, they have things. That please. Alright. There we go. There we go. Problem with the gotchas is that you can get C0 R1 in like 30 pulls or 300. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why like you plan around the worst case, because like if you plan around, not the worst case, you plan around the like where like soft pity is approximately, right? If you plan 150 pulls to acquire a Nefa, but you end up acquiring her in 50, but you plan for and have 150 wishes saved, what that does, the most powerful thing that does for you is, and the smartest decision usually, is that gives you 100 pulls now. It basically getting an early 50-50 win Anefa makes you go from, oh, you had enough to guarantee the character you wanted, but now you have an additional 100 pulls to save for a future character. Or you can use that to actually justify going for a high investment thing, right? Like, I would have been fine on my account not getting, if I had gotten unlucky with Skirk. You know, I didn't want to spend a bunch of extra money. It just ending up with Skirk C0 without her weapon, right, whatever. But because I did get lucky getting her initially, it just changed the decision. And like, I think the smart decision would have been for me to save for future characters, but I thought I would like Skirk enough that I chose to take the risk, and I did. And I don't regret that yet. We'll see if I regret C1. Did you ever hit the worst case? Are you talking 180 wishes? Because 180 wishes isn't really possible. I'd say the worst that it has ever taken for me to acquire a character is like probably 165, probably. Like, I had to go to like 83 pity for one pity with like a 50-50 loss on one of them. And then it was pity again at like 80. So like it was a little bit over 160. But I think it's relatively safe to plan around 150. Because I would sure hope, if you have 150 wishes like when a banner starts, you should be able to get, you know, 10, 15 wishes in the banner period in the worst case possible, right? Afterward gives nothing. Oh, usually they give like a little bit of primo gems. So yeah. Anyways, like you plan around the worst case, and then that gives you the most adaptability. Not plan around the worst case. Plan around the realistic worst case of like going to pity twice, kind of thing for whatever you want to acquire. And if you get a little bit lucky, that can either save you resources for future characters or influence your decisions on whether or not it actually makes sense to try to do a higher investment thing like getting a constellation or a weapon. That's my vibe for healthy decision making for Genshin, at least. And Genshin and gachas that have similar gacha acquisition structures as Genshin. With a game like Uma Musume's gacha is f***ed. And I am of the opinion right now that in Uma Musume, you basically either go insane, spend a bunch of money, or just never bother trying to save for particular things. Unless you're like a really dedicated player. Like Uma Musume's gacha is so incredibly ass. It is by far the most ass gacha system I've seen. Like for acquiring things and like trying to acquire specific things you want. Even with a higher base, significantly higher base rate. It's such a wonderful example of like having a higher base rate acquisition matters in my opinion so much less than a system that is better for like planning around guaranteeing things relative to how many pulls are given for free. Uma Musume has a guarantee system that you could plan around a little bit better, except it's ass because you can't actually meaningful plan around it, because as far as I can tell, there's no like consistent, there's not a very consistent source of free to play primo gems in Uma Musume. And like so many of the Freemo gems in Uma Musume right now, in the English launch at least, comes from like the launch of the game and them giving out a bunch of like the game just released free shit, right? And after like the game is 2 months from now, whatever, when they're gonna not continue giving away constant free sources of things, it's gonna become real bad, I think. Like I don't even know if I would have been able to guarantee getting Kitasan Black, the support card everyone glazes. Even though apparently it's not even that much more relevant. The base rarity of it isn't that much better than the whatever. So the 4-star equivalents at high refine. That's my general understanding. Is high refine 4 stars are better than this meta 5-star character or card, whatever. So like, yeah, I don't know. Hoyover's with Genshin's popularity, it kind of like redefined what the default for gacha games is, and Uma Musume has a gacha system that is not up to the modern standard. And I think it's kind of insane that they didn't change it, because like, I don't know, if anything kills Uma Musume's long-term player base retention outside of Japan, it's that the gacha system is absolute shit ass garbage, and like it's just gonna make people like crash out and stop playing the game because like they had 150 pulls that they could get during a particular banner period, and they wanted a particular horse, but they got F'd by RNG, didn't get it, and there's not enough free-to-play pulls, and they'd have to spend like $100 to be able to get a horse they wanted, and then they'll just like crash out and stop playing the game, right? This team Okain over with how burst reliant it is. It's weird because like with a good build on Skirk, right? So Skirk is 90. She's on an EM timepiece right now. If I just it depends what enemy I'm fighting, right? But like just Shenhe buff. Remember, just Shenhe buff with a flat buff. Even if I'm not applying my other buffs, like it's pretty easy to wipe through most mobs. But if I go and fight something a little bit more difficult, it can become a little bit more awkward. Like, what's I don't know. So like it's weird. It's simultaneously perfectly fine for Overworld and also situationally really annoying. Where I found it most annoying as far as like Overworld goes is I also include Overworld quality of life for teams being like farming, like how versatile they are for farming domains. And this team is kind of ass for farming domains because it performs well enough that like when you do the bursts, Shenhe EQ, Jean EQ, Bennett EQ, like on the Weasel, for example. Well, I can kill it very easily, but then I kill it fast enough that I won't get my energy back for the next run. So like I end up having like, you know, 2 or 3 runs in a row that can farm really well, and then one that takes an extra like 20 seconds because I just like slowly lose energy, right? So yeah, I think this banner is gonna be one of the best for 4 stars. I mean, yeah, like on my casual account, this is a great banner for my casual account, by the way, because like as much as it's like annoying that I didn't. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to. I forgot. It's annoying that I didn't get Eon Song constellations. Now that I'm going to try to get Lolly on the casual account and might do a number of farming streams to try to get her. And like this is a banner situation where for that account, if C Lolly like decides we lose a 50-50, I have to go to pity twice. That probably means I'm getting C6 Xingqiu and C6 Fischl. I'm at C2 on both of them, I think. Fischl, or one of them might be C3, I can't remember. But like I'll get close to C6 potentially on them in going for C Lolly, and that's a pretty big deal for my casual account. So yeah, like it's meh for Sitlolly herself, but Sitlolly herself is a support. You don't really, I don't know. Teams don't have to be designed very much around Sitlolly. Usually, Sitlolly is someone you slot in as a. It's weird. Does that make sense? Like a Nefa requires designing teams around her more than Sitlolly does, is my vibe. But so I think it's fine. Anywho's, Reverse 1999 is my favorite gacha system of all time. Little rates, rates are really high, so tons of earlies, and every character goes to standard pool. Yeah, that's like one of the benefits. Apparently, in Umusume, characters go to the standard pool. But as far as I'm aware, like just because characters go to the standard, I don't think the special outfit versions go to standard pool. I don't know. Anyways, like yeah, I agree that like those units other that aren't specifically really synergistic with Sitlolly's best teams, where Sitlolly is the most useful. Like Sitlolly's best teammates technically is Bennett, right? Like they should have rerun Bennett here. I guess is that what we're arguing? I don't know. Like I don't know if the 4 stars matter that much relative to Sitlolly. Is kind of my vibe. Whereas I think for Nefa it does matter a little bit more. So. Anyways, yeah, and you can do Superconduct Sitlolly. This is a complete Superconduct Sitlolly team. So anyways, like this is a really good banner. If I end up having to like farm an extra bunch, like this is a context for like for my casual account. Even if I get unlucky again, having to go to pity again for like and losing a 50-50 again. If I lose a 50-50 again for Sitlolly, that's actually my third 50-50 loss in a row. So that means I'd get the guaranteed Sitlolly, and then my next 5-star after that is also guaranteed, the Capture Radiance guarantee, which is really powerful to have that like knowledge under your belt that you have another character guaranteed in a row, right? When you can properly track your 50-50 loss streaks and around capturing Radiance, it's a really powerful tool for planning your resources. So anyways, yeah, like I'm actually going to, it's going to have to cause, it would cause me to have to do a lot more farming, but the upside of being able to get Fischl and Xingqiu constellations, unless the game trolls me, which probably will give me all Sethos copies on the casual account, like is pretty high. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's actually, I think, a great banner, 4-star wise. That's all. Yes, I have 2 guarantees in a row on polearms only. I don't have 2 guarantees in a row right now on the casual account. I've had 2 50-50 losses, which means my next, like the Sitlolly pull is a slightly higher chance. Like there's a higher chance to trigger capturing Radiance than default. Like we're talking, it should be a 60-40 is what is expected, but 60-40 is close enough to just a 50-50. That's like, okay, whatever. Okay, with Yelan, with double Hydra, should I do? I think I should actually, unironically, I think I should keep on this, because like Cryo Resonance with Yelan is just not going to exist. So I actually think I should use this build on Skirk. The only difference being the attack time piece. But anyways, you've already seen the Charlotte context. We know that Charlotte can pretty consistently, for me and how I play, get around 102-second clears on dire difficulty here. Or sorry, 105-second. 102-second is my best clear. So we're going to use Yelan now instead and see how it go. Yelan on Aqua, on Emblem. 31k HP, 81, 238, 147 ER. That should be fine, I think. With C6, mind you. I think. We'll see. Should I put you on Fav? I think I should put you on Fav instead of... I think I should put you on Fav. I think the energy might matter for Yelan. I'll put you on Fav. I was gonna put her on Spine, but I think Fav might be better. Okay. I don't know that I'm gonna actually beat this. I think I should be able to immediately. I'm not confident. Bye, Jenna. Yeah, if you haven't triggered Capture Radiance, that's a good thing. It means you've gotten lucky. This. It's okay. Can I switch? Why couldn't I switch? Refresh arena skill. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I hate doing. Yeah. Oh, frick me, man. Yeah, whatever. Skill issue, I get it, but like, it's also a C6 Yelan. And I didn't have energy issues. There was no energy issues there on Yelan. Cooked. Yeah, I don't like playing this boss without having... I really don't enjoy fighting this enemy without having an additional cryo in the team at difficulty 5 or 6 in Stygian. It's the hardest difficulty you clear without Skirk. I cleared difficulty 5 on this enemy with Chongyun Escoffier for Rina Shenhe. that is I think the lowest investment team I cleared difficulty 5 with. Well, okay, no, technically I could probably clear with Skirk with only 4-star teammates. Like that's a lower investment team I could probably clear with. But that's not without Skirk, right? I think it's more interesting trying to clear dire difficulty against the automaton without Skirk. But anywho's, you want the real challenge? Do it without a Escoffier? Yeah, I theoretically could do that on my account. I just don't really want to. So yeah, there you go. Charlotte is better than C6 Yelan. I should have put that in the video. I really should have. I totally forgot about that potential comparison. Oh boy. This is not like something unique to just this boss, to be clear. This is like a general trend in general where because they're making stronger and stronger on-field DPSs. I'm on the crit rate circlet still. Oops. Because they're making stronger and stronger on-field DPSs, we have a situation where like sub-DPSs, even really strong sub-DPSs like a C6 Yelan, just aren't as relevant versus just more buffing for your really strong on-fielder, right? That's a big part of what we're seeing here. Like I think Jeff mentioned in his cryo carry video how Candace it can be equivalent or even better in some ways than Sing Cho for Skirk teams, just because of the fact that Candace actually buffs Skirk a little bit. Even though it's a tiny buff, she buffs Skirk, whereas Sing Cho just does his own damage and doesn't contribute to making Skirk do more damage, right? It's like actually the more noticeable problem, I think, as far as team building goes in the current context of Genshin. Oh, almost died. Okay, I think I'm going to fail to clear because I should definitely not have a crit rate circlet in this team. This cryo resonance is up enough that I'm just wasting a bunch of crit stats. Even despite that, that was still closer than I think C6 Yelan got with the wrong build on. I think that was the correct build for the C6 Yelan team. I think it was the wrong build for the Charlotte team. Anyways, you know what? You know what'd be funny? Wait, can I don't, this is probably not going to work. But what if? What if I do EM timepiece? EM timepiece with Charlotte. Where do you even want to use Fischl? I mean, I think Fischl is going to be another victim of this, right? Where Fischl will continue to be relevant in Abyss with like shield mechanics and whatever, but for like Stygian Onslaught, particularly at dire difficulty, she's going to struggle, right? Okay, having an EM timepiece feels about the same as having the crit rate circlet. Did I play Brino? I just gave Brino TDI. So like, I think Fischl is going to struggle to stay relevant in Stygian with how the current balance of character kits has gone. But it also depends what difficulty level of Stygian you're talking about. Like, I can tell you, whatever. I can tell you, like, for difficulty 5, I can still find use of Fischl. Like, Fischl can be very valuable for potentially clearing the Dragon Toilet or the Tulpa at difficulty 5. Or 4, which is, like, a very relevant context for most players. Okay, yeah, no, this is kind of cooked. Who knew? EM timepiece is really bad to use on your Scopier, or on your Scopier. EM timepiece is really bad in a freeze team. I wonder why. It's almost like removing 46% attack is not a good thing. Sorry, I technically removed 36% attack, or like 38. Bro, you have 0 nuance brain power? Who are you talking to? I get the vibe that you're not talking to me. So, anyways, we don't need to continue that. I just wanted to see for the meme of like what did it perform like. Back to my normal melty build. Crap. Oh yeah, I got another crit damage circlet. It was so close. This is a 4-line with high roll crit rate. Had EM as a bonus for me for melt shenanigans. And then rolled twice into flat def and EM, and I was like, well, bye-bye. If this had attack percent, sick. That's like the ideal circlet for me. I can just re-roll it in the future to get the perfect crit damage Skirk circlet with crit rate and attack percent rolls. But without attack percent, this is not worth re-rolling for me. So, I mean, arguably it might still be, technically, because, you know, oh, it could have 20% crit rate, but like, come on. That's not something I'm going to do. I don't think re-rollers make sense when there's only one stat you want it to roll into. Can you tell me which bow character has the highest normal attack percentage? Sethos. Well, sorry. I mean, what do you mean? Normal attack is in normal attack damage type, or normal attacks that they do? Sethos does a lot of normal attacks. But, anyways, yes, Fischl is getting like comparatively worse. Like, from the most difficult end game content in the game, Stygian Onslaught Dire difficulty, Inef is just gonna generally be way better than Fischl. For the context where either of them makes sense, right? Fischl is still going to have her place, and is still a very, very good character to have as an option. Like we're not near at the point where like, oh, Fischl's just not worth using. But being that a big part of what Fischl does is just damage, and they are making off-field DPSs worse by making on-fielders so much stronger, and it being so much better to just buff the on-fielder more than it is to have a source of off-field sub-DPSing. Like, yeah, it's making less and less sense to min-max your off-fielders nowadays. Unless it's new off-fielders like Anefa that do way more damage in their specific context. So we are reaching a point where, mark my words, Tenacity Fischl is going to become better than Golden Troop Fischl. I don't think we are quite at that yet, especially because you could potentially do Fischl with Farina, and Farina should be on Tenacity instead. But like, we will get to a point where Tenacity Fischl is better than Golden Troop. And well, to be clear, we probably already are at that point in some team contexts. But like, if I'm going to go do a difficulty 5 clear or whatever, I can find a place to use Fischl against Tulpa or whatever, and she could help, probably. Difficulty 5 and difficulty 4 even more so. Less DPS required, right? So I don't know. Decide to get an F or not? I mean, I decided with this stream, with a little bit of testing we did, I'm going to do probably 20 pulls, well, unless we immediately get him. I'm going to do at least 20 pulls, if up to 20 pulls for Sethos, and then from there I'd be getting into Pity, so I have to decide if I want to actually go to Pity. But I'm going to have to use Anefa a bunch before I actually decide if I want to risk going to Pity. And I think I would still prefer losing the 50-50. So, anyways. Let's go to the other accounts quick, because I only have about an hour. Yeah, I mean, yes, if you're playing Kaching, yeah. Like, the higher damage main DPS unit you're playing, the less relevant your off-field or sub-DPS damage is. I don't know, it's just at a weird balance right now, is all it is. Like, it just really depends on the on-field you're playing. If you're playing Kaching, Clorind, they still probably really want Fischl. But honestly, Clorind is someone who is, I think, going to be an interesting comparison of, like, assuming you are playing, like, I don't know, Farina Clorind, is Anefa just going to be straight better than Fischl, right? Because you could do Farina, Clorind, Fischl, Nahida before. Anefa might just be straight up better. Might. Not sure, because Nahida might interfere with Anefa's things a little bit, but we'll see. The wrong account. Don't know what I'm going to do with my Freema gems. Maybe Alice? Alice is supposedly rumored to run much later in 6.x. So if you're planning on Alice and that information is true, and you only care about Alice, and you're willing to skip everyone for Alice, you probably have the ability to get, from now to then, you probably have the ability to get a pretty high investment Alice. And whatever teammates are good for her. Looks like I'm on the same account because I... So, you know, we'll see. Like, the expectation is there's probably going to be a Mondstadt. There's probably going to be a couple patches, I imagine, that are Mondstadt focused, and I imagine it'll be Varka and Alice and whatever supports, supposedly Nicole might be, that synergizes with them. Thoughts on Seed? I mean, I hate the marketing. I really, really despise the marketing, which also includes I kind of hate the alt. Oh, I don't hate the alt. I think the gimmick of the alt after the alt animation is good. Like, I think that's kind of fun. But I don't know. The number one thing I hate about ZZZ in general is the marketing. Like, the game's marketing makes you think it is a completely different thing than it is. Like, the game has a completely normal amount of, like, sexualization, realistically. Like, it's actually not that crazy in game. The most sexualized part of it is, like, the character menu screens have all kinds of, like, fancy animation flourishes where, you know, they do a little pose and, like, their butt will be a little angled towards the camera. Ooh, it's so crazy. Like, oh. But, like, almost everything else is, like, not drawn that much of a focus on, other than, like, yeah, there's a lot of jiggling in ZZZ, but it's, like, honestly, as part of the artistic style, everything is moving constantly in Zenless. Like, but the marketing, man, makes you think it's something completely different. And them choosing to showcase Seed with her fate and also putting that foot in the frickin' burst animation kind of pisses me off, because I really like her kit and I think the gameplay looks super fun. It looks like this ideal dynamic they're trying to go for, with like the Obel squad being a squad of teammates that you play together who all actively feel like they're doing things and coordinating with each other constantly. Like, that's what it looks like in action. And Zenless's combat with its, you know, swapping around to different units constantly, and Seed and Orpheus having their interplay. And, like, I think Seed's current kit is a little, like, it maybe relies on Orpheus a little too much for her ideal, most fun form of gameplay. But, like, the dynamic of switching between Orpheus and Seed to use both of their resources, and both of them, like, become a feedback loop with each other to feed into each other, is really cool. With, you know, the robot coming in constantly, like it's mostly just the robot being present in combat with ideal gameplay. So I don't know, Seed's kit looks really cool. I am almost assuredly, even with my dislike, like, the problem is, like, if I get Seed, anytime I'm gonna be, like, streaming, playing, I, like, occasionally stream Zenless gameplay while I'm chatting with my friends, right? And now, like, if I play Seed, I'm gonna be like, I didn't pull this character because of the freaking foot. I didn't, like, I like this video. I just, like, it's just, like, come on, man. Like, the developer's making some specific decisions of, like, that. And, like, I don't know. The Seed's burst animation is the most obvious example of, like, ZZZ marketing shoving its face in the actual gameplay in a way that can't be ignored, because it shoves it in your face in the burst animation. It's like, ugh. And, like, you can't really, and you might be like, oh, just don't use the burst, except for she's at a DPS unit, and, like, not using the burst is, like, not a thing you should do. So, I don't know. Is reason to skip Seed? Maybe, yeah. But, like, I like other aspects, to be clear. Like, I actually don't mind that it's, you know, it's just a cute girl. I wanted to only play as the robot. I didn't care that much about that. And I actually like her design, kind of, and I think it's really funny that she has her stupid hover Segway that you move around on. Like, I don't know, I like her animations, I like the kit, I like the gameplay dynamic in most of the gameplay, and I think Seed Orpheus seems like a really fun combo. So I don't know, like, it's like the jiggle during Mav's burst, yeah, pretty much, but worse. Don't worry, we know you like pants. Does Seed have pants? Is that why I like her? Is that actually? I don't know. I just like her design. She, like, is simultaneously, like, a little bit plain, but also really, really nice looking. Like, she's just, like, a really, like, this is Zenless all the time, where it's like they do the drip marketing and it's just like, on the design, and then you see her in game and you're just like, oh, it's really pretty. I don't know. She does have pants. Okay. So I don't know. Anyways, like, I would rather get Seed personally over getting Sandby and doing, like, Sandby Orpheus. I'd rather play Seed Orpheus than Sandby Orpheus, for example. You don't need to make excuses, say you like feet. No, I don't like feet. I mean, I feel nothing about feet other than, like, it annoys me when it's overly presented. Like, I've seen Tarantino movies, and, like, I never really noticed the feet until someone was like, wow, look at the feet. Like, Tarantino does feet in a way that I don't notice somehow, even though, like, it's really obvious. And now I notice it more since it's been pointed out. That's the real problem. The real problem is that someone pointed it out, and now I notice it everywhere. People pointed out, I learned that feet fetish is a thing, and now it just annoys me when it's overly in my face. I don't know. Anywho's. We've been talking about feet too much recently. It's a weird thing. Like, I feel like someone has to have made like a video about, like, lately video games have had a lot more feet, just in general. And like Genshin, Columbina. Did you notice how Columbina in the No Cry trailer? You want to know what they started showing her with? Her freaking feet, her bare feet. Like every video game right now, it's not just like a gacha game. It's the thing. It's just like every video game is like having a character with bare feet for some reason right now. Like everyone, like with, it has multiple characters. There's got to be a character with bare feet. Like Night Rain. Night Rain has a playable character. She's like, I think it's the lady that summons a bunch of creatures for her, and she got bare feet. I'm pretty sure. Like, I just, what's happening? Why is the entire games industry having characters that are showing their bare feet now? I don't understand. Like feet fetish has always been a thing. Why is it suddenly now in the games industry all the feet and whatever? Anywho's, I'm like, you know what? As far as walking around with bare feet goes, like, if I got transported to the Genshin world, okay, this is a weird ass tangent. If I got transported to the Genshin world, look at this grass. Look how nice. Well, okay, this grass actually, when you look at it, looks a little bit sharp, so we have to suspend our disbelief a little bit. But look at this grass. Pretend it's not grass; it's gonna cut you up. If this grass is normal grass, like that, like just feels nice to walk around in. Like if you haven't walked barefoot on like nice feeling grass, it's a different vibe. But like, there's a difference between walking bare feet on grass in the desert. Honestly, like, that's a vibe too. Like, walking barefoot on hot sand, it's not something that you want to do actively. You don't want to stay standing still, but it's like, it's its own thing. It's its own unique experience, right? So, but foot infections, I mean, whatever. I'm young enough. I can do stupid things. I'm not saying you walk barefoot everywhere. Don't walk barefoot through the alleyway that drug addicts throw all their needles in. Probably, you know. So, anyways, I don't get it. I don't get why the entire games industry seems to be doing feet right now. I understand the idea in real life of like the appeal of being barefooted and walking around barefoot. No judgment on that, but the media presentation of being like, look at these feet, I don't get it. I don't get why it's so omnipresent right now. That's what I don't get. Anywho's. Thanks for the life-saving tip. You're welcome. You're welcome. What are we doing on this account? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, artifacts. I got an ideal artifact for Eon's on yesterday with crit rate, attack percent, ER, and it was a 4-line piece, but it was a feather, and I already had a really good feather. Unfortunately, it was like the one piece that's probably the least likely to be replaced. The only difference is this was a 3-liner, and it has one bad roll. So like a 4-liner with crit rate, attack percent, ER could have 2 additional beneficial rolls. So like, could be meaningfully better. As you can see, I didn't star it. I'm going to star it because it's worth re-rolling. You might be like, really? You're gonna re-roll this? Yup. Yup, I'm gonna re-roll this because crit damage is a dead stat. I don't want crit damage. It is a dead. This is equivalent to defense percent for me, for my goals with my Eons on build. I don't want it. I would love this on my main account for various reasons, but I don't want it. Crit damage is defense percent there. Useless. Rather would have a big flat attack. Not even joking. The flat attack would be much more preferable because I'm trying to do really stupid min-maxing Eons on things that don't actually matter. I didn't claim my dailies. What if it rolls full ER though? I mean, if it rolls full ER, like, it is worth considering keeping, even with a bad defense percent, aka crit damage roll. Because having a ton of ER rolls in one piece, but it's low in attack percent and crit rate, allows me to spec more into crit rate and attack percent stats in the other pieces, right? So I would need less. I could get away with potentially having no ER substat on my flower, for example. So like 5 ER rolls if that piece rolled. By the way, it was I think it was a max ER roll start too. So like this was like, wrong character. This was like almost like high roll. It was max crit damage, high crit rate, middle attack percent, and I believe high ER roll start. It was either max or high roll. It's 5.8 or 6.5. So like in the reality where this rolls 35% ER, yeah, I'm keeping it as that. That's like in some ways maybe the theoretical ideal. But anywho's, like it shouldn't take that many rerollers to get that to be an upgrade for Eonson, and that's the kind of pieces I'm looking for min-maxing Eonson right now. It doesn't make sense though. It's so very unnecessary to do that. It's just I have nothing else to farm on this account until particularly assuming that Flynn's is a polearm until next patch. Not next patch, sorry. 6.0 with new artifact sets. Then I'll probably abandon min-maxing Eonson. But until that point, I'm going to spend the rest of my resin here. Oh, by the way, I'm probably going to record a video being like, I have the perfect... Oh, remind me to look at this after I'm done farming. I have the perfect Arlecchino. And it's just going to be... Yes, it's going to be a little bit... You know what? I have spent a stupid amount of resources perfecting my Arlecchino build on polearms only. So it's just gonna be... that's how I think I'm going to frame it. I'm not going to be like... I'm not going to frame it as... I have the number 1 Arlecchino. I'm just going to say I have the perfect Arlecchino. Because for this account, the build is essentially perfect. Other than, like, yes, I could theoretically reroll for, like, ooh, that 1 flat attack roll could be an additional attack percent. I can get 20 more attack. Or 1 more crit damage roll. But, like, being that I have C6, it's arguably not even beneficial to get more crit damage rolls. It's probably more beneficial to get more attack rolls. But anyways. Like, I'm going to discuss, like... the process of min-maxing a build to the extent that I have min-maxed it on Arlecchino and why that kind of doesn't make sense to do, but also what the approach to doing it is and the lessons learned from doing it, and then also obviously just showcase of how strong it is. And one thing, I actually recorded some footage for this over the past couple days. I cleared dire difficulty with C6 Arlecchino without cryo. With the tulpa. I didn't clear the whole difficulty because I can't clear the cryo boss on dire on this account, unfortunately. So yeah. Anyways. My point is, my estimate, I forgot that you could estimate how much resin you had spent in the domain. When you've spent a ton of resources in one particular domain, you can go into the enemy archive and see how many of a particular enemy you've killed, right? So I go see how many of these magma enemies I've killed, and being that there's 3 per domain, I could divide by 3 and get a relatively accurate estimation of how much resin I've spent in this domain. Not the complete story by far, but like relatively accurate. And I can do that for the Arlecchino. I can do that for the Arlecchino domain on this account. I have estimated it before because I know how much, like, how many days I've spent in there, like since the domain release last year, and my estimate was, I believe I have spent approximately 1 year's worth of resin in that domain. But I want to show you it in the archive because it's actually kind of funny. Sure, I guess. I don't know. Oh, Hoyo Lab stats don't actually show the meaningful stats. The enemy archive is actually better. Particularly in this case, it's because, like, yes, I have technically fought a little bit of these enemies in Overworld, and Abyss, but very, very few. I have fought the vast majority of these enemies on this account in that domain. Living beings. Do. There it is. So this is the boss. This is the boss they added with Arlecchino, right? So I fought this 45 times apparently between Abyss and farming in Overworld and whatever. The thing to the left of it is the 3 dudes that are in the domain. I don't know. There's something really funny about this. 45, and then just add a 24 in the end. So my estimation for how much resin I've spent before has actually been very accurate. So we take 4,524 divided by 3 because there's 3 per domain run. And I spend the vast majority of the time I spend... Well, actually, this is actually maybe a little bit of a pessimist estimate because I usually would do like 4 condensed resin and then 20 whatever. But anyways, it's close enough to estimate by just dividing by 40. So divide by 3 because there's 3 enemies, and then multiply by 40 for the amount of resin. So 1,508 times 40 is 60,000 resin, and divide that by 180 because you get 180 resin per day. That is 335 days of resin. So my estimate that I spent about a year's worth of resin in that domain is true. I have spent about a year's worth of resin. Are the metatrils close? They should be a little bit lower because there's only 2. I would assume, but I've also potentially fought them more in it because they're more common. I think it's these ones. Yeah, 3,100. Yep, that's accurate. So, yeah, it is 2/3 of the other one, which is exactly what you would expect. Apparently, there's probably a domain where I fought a bunch of these too. I don't remember which one. So, yeah, I spent a lot of friggin' res on that domain. And my Arlecchino build is essentially perfect at this point, so I'm going to make a video about it and yap about it, because I think it's a little bit weird that I haven't at this point for how good this build is. It's essentially perfected, and there's the only thing I could possibly really do at this point is really hyper-optimizing min-maxy things, like a re-rolling this piece even more, even though it's already like an absolute S-tier piece. It's essentially already perfect, and even if it gets additional crit rolls, if it doesn't have high roll values into crit and attack percent, it's bad. Like, it wouldn't be worth, like, just getting one more minimum crit rate roll and losing an attack percent roll would not be worthwhile. Like, a max attack percent roll is better than a crit roll here. So, and then, like, this piece I could theoretically reroll to, like, get more crit damage and attack percent rolls. Like, I might reroll this piece for her. This is essentially impossible to get better, unless I get a 4-line version of it. But that's, like, nigh on not possible. This could theoretically be better by re-rolling it and getting the same crit damage rolls, but then an attack percent roll instead of flat attack. But, like, we're talking an extremely minor amount of additional value. And this is a similar story, like, could get an additional crit roll, but I'd actually have to go do a damage calc to see how much that matters, because it would have to be crit damage, not crit rate. Like, and the flat attack is, like, the second best thing to have here. So, like it's basically impossible to improve my build, and I already have the artifacts technically to improve it, but it's just a matter of technically re-rolling for impossibly god tier re-rolls. Like it doesn't matter if, like, I get the maxed out 4 guaranteed things, because I'm re-rolling 4-line pieces. So 4 guaranteed rolls into crit damage and attack percent does not guarantee that circlet is better, right? So, and same story for this. Like, sure, I could use the decree roll to guarantee 4 rolls into crit, but if it rolls EM instead of attack percent, or those crit rolls are low rolls, or the attack percent rolls are low rolls, garbage. It's useless and not worth it. So, but that's the level I'm at in this build, and that's kind of stupid. So, anyways, don't min-max your builds to this extent. It just doesn't actually make sense. Like, I would say past the 20,000 resin mark, like, so we're talking like 2/3 of the resin I've spent in that domain, basically didn't result in anything. It didn't result in an improved build. So, also, I guess it's worth showing my Emily build. This is my Emily build, which looks like kind of just okay, considering, you know, like she has more crit rate to start than Arlecchino. Like, it's an extremely good Emily build, but it's actually deceptively good. The reason being is because I have a bunch of ER, and I think the best showcase. So she could have the only thing I could really improve on her is if I had this, but a 4-line version that had attack percent. Like, I could get a little bit more attack percent. That's how I could improve her build. Otherwise, it's essentially impossible to improve my Emily build. And the thing that's crazy about this Emily build is having this amount of crit and this ER. And I think the best showcase of actually how broken my Emily build is on this account, if we go to Akasha and we go to my Emily is top 1.4% on Akasha, but Akasha doesn't have ER as a factor. Like, it doesn't value ER as a valuable stat on Emily. So even though I have 38% of dead rolls, like to Akasha for Akasha ranking, I have 38% ER. So like, what is that? 7 dead rolls. I have 7 dead rolls. 7, no, if we count the death. I have 9 dead rolls to Akasha. But in truth, I only have 2 dead rolls. like having this many dead rolls and still having a top 1.4%, like being rank 1374 is insane. If Akasha actually had like 30, 40 ER leaderboard, this might be #1 Emily. I'm not kidding. It's kind of bonkers actually. So that'll be discussed as well. And things could still technically be minorly improved. Like, yes, the timepiece could be minorly improved or whatever, but again, it doesn't factor the ER properly, so it's not even really worth discussing Akasha that much, other than the fact that it's insane that this build is as high ranked as it is with 40% ER when Akasha thinks ER is a dead stat on Emily. Which, again, to be fair, in some contexts it is. Like, if you're doing alt every other rotation, even with Emily's signature weapon, then ER is a dead stat. I like to be able to alt every rotation with her. Especially on this account. So, the Emily build is essentially perfected as well, and yeah. So it'll be a discussion of like how relevant that was to do on this account. And the answer is, I think, because there wasn't anything else to farm for this account for when I started it. It was like the only thing that made sense to do, so there was no reason not to do it, right? And now I'm working on trying to min-max Noblesse Shungling. Like, I'm going to be strong boxing Noblesse till the end of time. I have a slightly worse Emily on Deepwood. Yeah. I mean, if you have that... So, keep in mind, like, the attack percent matters a lot for Emily. Like, I have a Deepwood Emily build on my main account that has about the same ER and a similar crit ratio, except it has 350 less attack. Like, it's a 2000 attack build. Like, it's way less attack, and that like, she's a top whatever 20% build. My Deepwood Emily build is top 20% despite having a similar crit ratio in ER. And I'm not sure how Deepwood versus Reverie is factored in on the Akasha leaderboards, though. I haven't checked that because I don't care that much about Akasha leaderboards for Emily. So anywho's looking for like perfect Shangling pieces here. Like, if that rolls ER, we need double crit ER pieces for Shangling, basically. What's our current feather? Yeah, that could be improved. This is really good, to be clear, but I definitely want ER over that. Hold. Okay. I think I actually want an ER roll as the last roll here, by the way. Well, I mean, sometimes you get what you ask for. I will say that, like, I think this was the least necessary piece to be improved on her, and also the main thing my Shungling is lacking right now is actually crit rate substance, so now that just dropped her below 60% crit rate. So, like, this was the piece in least need of improving. Like, I really need a compelling... Oh, man. You know, I am very, very tempted to just craft another ER timepiece, honestly. That is not quite 2 max ER rolls. I think the second ER roll is a high roll. I think it was max into high roll. It would have been 13% ER, but same difference. But, like, I want double crit ER flower. And then I want a better circlet. So crit rate, crit damage, ER. So this, but pretend the defense is crit damage. I really need an onset timepiece, I think, right now. That's good to be able to use an offset goblet. Like, imagine this, and then... just if I use this Candace piece, right, as a baseline. But I want more crit rate than that. Like that is already a lot better. Do I do it or do I save my elixirs for it? I think I kind of want to do it. Forget. I'm in an elixir risky mood. Like, although I have 4 elixirs, I could do an onset pyro goblet instead. But I don't know if onset pyro goblet makes sense when I have this ridiculous goblet, right? Like, this is kind of the ideal goblet for this noblesse Xiangling build. Like, I think it would make more sense to do a timepiece. This have I done the extraction? I think I did. I did. Okay. So like I think it would make more sense to do a timepiece now and then maybe a circlet next patch, and that might basically, assuming they roll O-Cage, that might basically complete my Noblesse Xiangling build if they roll well. Especially if they're 4-liners, and then I would just need to maybe get a slightly better flower, which is very doable. Frick it. ER sands are pain. I should arguably like save these for, you know, future artifact sets or for min-maxing Raiden's build maybe, but like Raiden's build doesn't really need to be min-maxed anymore. It doesn't really matter. And honestly, like for Raiden's team, like for Raiden team's damage performance in like a Shepherd's team, Xiangling's damage matters more to improve now at this point. Because I had a really terrible Noblesse build before. So yeah. Forget. I'll take the risk. And like I'm gonna like assuming Flynn's is a polearm and both artifact sets are relevant on polearms only, like put the support artifact set on Anefa in some context, and then Flynn's uses the main DPS set. I'm gonna be spending 80,000 res in that domain. Like I'm gonna spend the next year in that new domain anyways, assuming we are getting 2 polearm units, right? Like Flynn's is a polearm unit, so like. Like I'm gonna be spending so much res in that domain, it doesn't even like I'm not even gonna need to use elixirs in the domain is my point, most likely, unless I'm just impatient. So I think it makes sense more to use for something like this right now. Even and also I'm assuming we're gonna get a bunch more elixirs in the new region too. Like I think it's fine. But please be nice to me and give me double crit 4-line. Like I have terrible luck with 4-liners with using elixirs. But anyways, Noblesse, ER Sands, double crit. Told you I have terrible luck with it. To be clear, depending on what like the last line rolls here and how it rolls, we could potentially yoink the Candace piece and give Candace this instead, right? Oops. No, I don't want to switch to it yet. I feel like switching to it immediately is cursed. I feel like it's telling the game, I intend to switch to this, and it's like, alright, I'm gonna roll shit. Flat attack. Okay, well, at a baseline starting stats, this is worse than this piece, obviously. So, you know. But I think having a bunch of crit rate rolls would be the ideal for sure. That would give me the most flexibility with the flower. Let's just do one more. Okay. Oh, what? I just missed a crit roll. Okay, that's funny. Okay. I said I wanted crit rate, but okay. I mean, I can't complain about that. That's just the opposite direction I expected and wanted, I guess. Yes. Thank you. Okay, what does it look like? Like this is suddenly instantly like a really quality Noblesse Xiangling. Like it's not that much of a problem. Like I wanna what I had before was this with it was this, and I can trash can this garbage now. And then still that, so still want a better circlet. And then I had this piece. Like, this is what we were running before. This is what we were running before. So that feather and then that circlet or that timepiece. Give it to Bennett, yeah. Okay. And now, yeah, now it's just a circlet gambit. We just need better circlets. Wait. Is it doable? What do I have for... Do I have a heavy crit rate flower? No. There's a reality where I get a... We just got all crit damage rolls. What if we get all crit rate rolls here? It's not bad, but like not what we're looking for. Unfortunately. What if indeed? What if failed and that's fine. Should I try that one too? Maybe. Okay. Switch to this. Because like that's just too high of stat value to not use. Like anyways, there's like I have this, so that and it doesn't have ER, which is awkward. Like how much crit rate do I need in a flower to make that real? Oh, like 20. That's so impossible. No, there's no way. I need a 4-line that rolls like entirely into crit rate, or I'd have to get a feather. Like there is a reality where I could use this, right? By the way, her ER needs are not very high in the noblesse because this team, this Chongling is mostly now at this point optimized around Chevreuse, a Chevreuse team inclusion. So her ER needs, particularly with Raiden, which is where I care about min-maxing her the most, aren't that high. Nice 1-to-4 ratio, yeah, pretty much. Okay. So that's probably not a thing that's going to be done right now. Particularly with my heavy crit damage rolls here and here. Like, I think I just need a nice, well-balanced piece in the flower. And like this is a good, very good Chongling build right now. Is this not that? Is this piece relevant? It's a 3-liner. I don't know. I mean, this piece is not relevant unless I reroll it, but like, because this is a, you know, if this had ER, I would potentially keep this and reroll it because, again, rerolling it if in the reality where I could reroll this for 5 years and it gets 20% crit rate, put a crit damage circlet on her, bam, right? But without ER, I don't think it's relevant to care about rerolling. So we are on Fablands, yeah. I could put her on catch, to be clear, and have more options. Yeah, I don't know. Forget. Oh, let's see. Well, that's fine. I had all my luck with the other more important pieces. I will continue strongboxing noblesse. The luck had to dry out. Okay, that's fine. This is a so much better Chongling build than I had before. I do have this piece, by the way, from Candace that I could yoink. That is, you know, probably better. Should I swap it at this point? I can give. I don't really want to lose ER on Candace, but I don't think I need the extra ER on her right now. Okay, I mean, I wanted ER rolls, so I could give that to Candace. Not whatever that just... What the frick? Like, part of me wants to keep this because of how much I like EM stats, but like I don't think it's relevant. Okay. I mean, surely Candace is fine without... I think I'd rather put this on her. We're losing some attack percent. What do you do? Like I want a flower with like a tiny bit more crit rate. That's my vibe. And then I think I'm actually done. So I just with that one minor decision, I think I am like, this is close enough to min-max Chongling to the point of perfect enough that it doesn't need to be improved past here. Other than like, Monkey Brain wants me to have this piece, but with 2 more crit rolls, right? Should I just re-roll this piece in the future? I should just re-roll this piece, honestly. Like, because I don't think I need the ER. Like, I'd prefer a 4-line with double crit ER, but I don't think I need the ER. Let me go, like, demonstrate. Here, I'll demonstrate in Stygian, because Stygian's a better demonstration. But yeah, if like I have 3 rolls on this current flower on Chongling, that like just re-rolling this current flower and it rolling 2 more times into crit. 1 more time into crit rate, 1 more time into crit damage puts me over 150 crit damage and over 70% crit rate. And that's incredibly good. Although it should be below 1200 attack at that point, but who cares? I don't know. Also 17,000 HP, 17,177 HP is kind of satisfying too. I don't know. It's really funny that this instantly went from like an extreme cope noblesse build to like a really good noblesse build. This is pirate software. What are you accusing me of? Isn't pirate software the dipshit that everyone is making fun of? What are you trying to say? Hi, Claire. Alright, let's go. I don't know. We'll do it. The Raiden against. Can Raiden Shivers clear the dragon toilet? Probably. On dire difficulty. Let's try it. Oh, yeah, I did clear. So, I didn't record footage of this clear, actually. I was seeing. So, I put Deepwood on Zhongli. Emily, of course, on her build. Xiangling with the coat build, mind you. Not that matters that much, but because damage. But yeah, I got 120-second clear with Hu Chao, Emily, Zhongli. It was mostly Emily. I'm sorry, but anyways, we need to do Raiden. Okay, so you and well, we're gonna have to be weird in the start of the rotation, but. Anyways, that'll be fine. But yeah, 91-second clear with an overload team with Arlecchino. That seems like that, like, oh, 91 seconds, that was very easy. Like, the damage is obviously fine. The problem with Arlecchino without overload with C6 Arlecchino and trying to bypass that was, like, you have to brute force the mini papillas. So I had to optimize the mini papilla positions. And it took me like a good like couple hours to get that clear. It was by far the hardest I've had to like it's the optimizing that Shivers team with C6 Arlecchino is the only time I've ever had to like meaningfully think about optimizing Arlecchino's C6 on this account. So it was kind of fun, honestly. It was pretty satisfying. You know what? I can. Do you guys want to see it? I can show it quick. I have the footage. I might turn it into a short, or at minimum it'll be in an Arlecchino video. But let's see. I think it is this footage. Yes, this was the footage, but this is like an hour long of recording, so I gotta. Or no, it was only like, oh, this. Oh yeah, I was segmenting it into different clips to manage the footage better. Okay, which is good. It shouldn't be hard. I'm just scrubbing through it right now. That was not easy. Oh, that was not me speaking. Well, that was me speaking, but that was me speaking in the past. Okay. Okay, I found it. Okay. Where is this gonna work? Sorry, OBS problems as always. Media player. There we go. Bap. That's not the media player. I hit the wrong button. Bap. There we go. It's a little cut off, but that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, here you go. This is. I think I reset. Yeah, there we go. And this is the next successful clear. You hear me button mashing? The bar go away? I don't know why the bar doesn't want to go away. Oh, it's because the volume is up. There we go. Nice 1 million damage. By the way, I didn't min-max Arlecchino's build. I just used the build I normally have on her. Probably an EM timepiece would have been better here, but she was on an attack timepiece. I don't know. The problem, I could tell that the problem wasn't damage. The problem was optimizing the mini tulpas. So I just didn't feel like it. Particularly one of this I had to figure out like positioning here. You notice I was hitting as I was attacking the shield. I was hitting and killing the mini tulpa at the same time. I had to do that. And then here we just make sure I go target this, kill it before. Yep. And then from here after I got that, it was free. I was like, yep, I got it. No, Raiden was not on tenacity. Again, like I just left her on her damage build because the damage wasn't the problem. If I was gonna min-max the time to clear, I could probably get this down to like 85, or I could probably get it down to 80 seconds at minimum. Whoa, that was not easy. Like to be clear, yeah, there you go. That was a fun clear. That was very fun. It was, again, like it's the first time I've ever been like, there's content in the game that actually necessitates me optimizing my gameplay with Sethos Arlecchino. So, yeah, but yeah, no tenacity Raiden. One reason I wanted to do that, by the way, I want to see how much better Anefa is. Anefa should be a lot better than Raiden there. should. Raiden had some additional value in doing a little bit of front-loaded damage to the mini tulpa at like one point there, or to the shield when I was optimizing things. But I think Anefa is just going to do basically a lot more. So, like, I think Anefa, yeah, against the tulpa here, as long as Anefa's ends up actually helping damage the mini tulpas a little bit, will absolutely make it so like I might be able to get a sub 60-second clear against tulpa after Anefa release. I'm not kidding. It should be way better. So sorry, Raiden, but that's fine because I get more enjoyment out of Raiden at this point by using her as the DPS rather than using her as a support. I am fine with Raiden being replaced as a support in Chever's teams. So let's see how this goes, though. We do this. We have. Okay, do this. Okay, this. Please. I didn't put a... I really should have put Fav on Shivers or something. Okay. I don't know if she can be able to beat this, by the way. Yeah, I get my energy back without a problem. I might be able to do another Raiden burst while it's down, maybe. I should have saved that. I think we just forgo Shangling burst here, yeah. Nice, okay, yeah, that was worth it. Bro, I need to put an R5 Av on, holy shit. I think we're not getting their shield fast enough, I just realized. Shoot, okay. Our damage was actually fine, so I thought we were fine, but I didn't realize how slow we were getting to the shield. I could probably optimize this and kill it. But I think it's more annoying to optimize than the Zhongli Emily team. Yeah. I could probably optimize this and kill it, but I'm not going to. It is more annoying to optimize than the Emily team. Oopsies. But that's more just this boss mechanics. That's not really damage potential. So, anyways, at the very least, that is safe to say. I don't like. Is that enough ER on my Shangling if I want to use her? What context is there for Noblesse Shangling at this point that I think her ER might be a problem? To be without Raiden for sure. So like Sino Shangling, but like I'd rather do Sino Emily and usually without Shangling. But I don't know. I'm doing Sino Emily Shangling. She might not have enough energy. But I could mitigate with a higher refined Pav. Honestly, at this point, Candace should have the more. I need more Favs. I gotta say, them not putting Fav on the banner really kills my desire to get an Neph's weapon. Again, assuming Flynn's is a polearm, I'm much more inclined to just get a Nepha, save my guarantee to get Flynn's, and then I should be able to get enough wishes to easily get Flynn's weapon, or maybe Constellations on him, assuming he's a main DPS. That is, I think, the smart resource thing to do for polearms only at this point. So I think I'm probably going to skip a Nepha weapon. If a Nepha's weapon had Favlons on the banner, I probably would wish for it and try to get it. But we'll see what Flynn's weapon and damage looks like and how much his weapon affects his performance. I can almost guarantee you getting Flynn's weapon, assuming he's a polearm, will affect Flynn's damage more than a Nepha's weapon will affect his damage, right? So, yeah. And if it had Favlance, though, okay. Well, getting the real signature weapons and getting, R5, getting one more R5 copy would be really nice. I would really like it. But, anyways. Yeah. Anywho's. I didn't claim my dailies yet. I do like playing Raiden at this investment level for Raiden's build. She's fun. She feels way more than strong enough. Obviously, enemy mechanics in Stygian Onslaught's going to restrict anything. You know what I haven't done? I haven't tried... Why did I go here? I haven't tried Tulpa with that team. I know I can defeat Fearless for sure. Surely someone is going to use Mountain Bracing. I mean, yes. Do I have it yet? No. Well, no, I take it back. Like a Nepha. But I'd rather use Katane, I think. Like, a Nepha, I think, is either going to be on Katane or Ballad. Right. Or Missive. I don't know. That's my vibe. Or Deathmatch. I'm not sure between all of them. Yeah. Or just stat stick, right? But I'm pretty sure Katane is going to be equivalent-ish to Jadewing. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Battle of the Fjords against Nepha against Double will go crazy? Yep, probably. It should be pretty good. So, yeah. Let's go back here real quick. I want to see what happens on... So, like, Fearless difficulty. I'm pretty sure Raiden could handle it. I don't think Raiden can do this at Dire. Well, okay, let's see how... So, again, this is like... We're trying to bypass the mini Tulpas by brute forcing them. So we'll see how bad this is. Bap. Raiden E. I think we start with Xiangling E actually, and then Raiden E right after, and that will probably get an overload on from what's his bucket from Gwobers, and then we Shivers E, and then we can okay. Okay. Wait, I was gonna spam her E, but I don't think I do that. I think I do this, and then do this. Yep, there we go. Please, no, I didn't get energy. Ah, crap. Okay. Well, I probably should have waited for even. Ah, really awkward. Okay. Man, yeah. Did I just E on? I just E'd on Eon something before. Gwober sounds like a racial slur for Gwoba. It's meant to be a pet name. I like the Guobas. I take way too long to actually start doing things here. No, I don't think I can kill the other one. It's way too yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's doable. That's Xiangling damage though. Maybe it is doable from this rotation. Xiangling is not critting. Okay, it's not spawning anything, so I think it is doable. Let's hit both. Yes. I was really hoping to kill the... Ah, crap, I can definitely do it. I still might be able to do it, actually, here. Even with the... Okay. Yeah, I don't think Raiden could do Fearless. Or, I don't think Raiden could do Dire. The mini Tulpas are just way too tanky on Dire difficulty, I think, for her to get through. Oh, what the? I forgot you can do that. Okay. There you go. 35 crit damage stands useless because she refuses to crit. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, there you go. See? Raiden can be a usable character. With high investment. Very good build at C5, but C4 and C5 don't really matter. I mean, well, I might have been snapshotting C4 Raiden buff for Xiangling a couple times, which mattered, but you know. Anyways. Wow. I have a good Xiangling build on Noblesse now, and I'm happy about that. She'll stay there most of the time. And, yeah. Alright. Cool. Let's go on to the casual account quick. I only have like 15 more minutes to do things. Because I want to mention something I want to do on the casual account. Which is getting 4P's Whimsy and Arlecchino. I might stream this, like I might try to stream some farming doing this tomorrow. Because it should not... I have no elixirs right now on the account. But I should just need to be able to... I should just be able to get a crit damage Whimsy circlet. And then have like a really compelling 4-piece Whimsy build. That's like, from my calculation, all I need is like a Whimsy circlet that's got 2 crit rate rolls on a crit damage main stat. And wham blam, I suddenly have an Arlecchino that's like 10% better than my other build. I have this on her right now, which I don't really want to level up for obvious reasons. Still using this really good goblet, but I did a Strongbox dump, and I got this feather from a Strongbox dump into Whimsy, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I already had this flower, but I had to re-roll it because originally it rolled like 4 times into ER or something stupid. And I had 2 feathers. I re-rolled it twice and got this. And I was like, okay. So suddenly got 2 really compelling flowers and feathers. And I also got this, which is a 4-liner. And it rolled enough into crit that it's crit rate that's like, okay. And it's like, it's a little bit worse than my Glad piece. Like, you know, losing 4% crit rate, but 4% crit rate is not the end of the world, right? And then with this cracked as heck on goblet still. So it's like, oh. Now all I need is like, this is Arlecchino's old circlet. I just need this old circlet with like, hey, 1 attack percent rolls fine, and then 2 crit rate rolls, and bam. Suddenly I have like if we pretend this is Whimsy, like look at this Whimsy build. Look at this Whimsy white tassel build. Like holy. That's a freaking really good Arlecchino build. With the other asterisk of like EM timepiece if I end up getting Sitlolly would be kind of ideal, but you know, we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the EM. We'll figure that out in the future. I do have EM timepieces in Gladiator that are much better. So, you know, might still be a switch to Gladiator for using with Sitlolly, but we ignore that. It's a problem that can be figured out. I also got this, which getting this, I went and ran the numbers. I was like, okay, this plus like a Blacklift pole, because I have enough Star Glitter to just get Blacklift pole. I was like, this plus Blacklift pole, is that maybe the sensible thing to do? Like I was checking Blacklift pole versus White Tassel, but no, Blacklift pole versus White Tassel is kind of just garbage. It's kind of garbage. You need like an R5 Blacklift pole with at least one stack of the passive up for it to be better than White Tassel. So, no, Blacklift pole not good. But it was a consideration because hey, it looks cool, and I already had the artifact for it, right, kind of thing. And this could have been rerolled too, but no. I think I want a crit damage circlet in Whimsy, and then I could work on getting a Whimsy timepiece. I don't want to farm that domain though, because that domain's cringe and annoying to farm. So I'm not going to. Instead, we're going to continue farming the Skirk domain because it's easy and brainless to farm. That's why. Bap. Nesting shows on the C0 Sethos and C0 Fischl. Yeah. Probably a good banner for you too. Yeah, this account has a C2 Sing Cho. So getting to C6 on him could be a pretty big deal. I could probably optimize his build a lot more to make him do meaningfully more damage. Especially because I have an R5 or R4 Sack Sword now. Sorry. Let me min-max a bit more of his personal damage because Sack Sword is a little bit better for his energy needs than Fav is, I believe. No, yeah, it definitely is. As long as you don't mind the longer rotations, which I think is fine. I don't think the extra time to do the extra skills should be fine for Skirk or other teams in this account. I talked about Sethos a lot earlier. Hazmat, you might want to rerun the stream. I'm almost done with the stream, but so anyways, Singcho could be pretty big, and then yeah, also C2 for you. So like if I manage to like get C6, this is probably a pipe dream, but it's very possible if I have to go to pity twice. But like a C6 Fischl and a C6 Singcho in going for Seat Lolly could be a pretty big win on this account. Anyways, claim dailies quick.
Thank you for.
Whoop, weird camera swing. How exciting. I don't think I'm near pity, am I? Ah, yes. Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was pity. Ah, yes. Exactly what I needed on this account. A Luke. Farming streams will become a 95 shift if you lose the 50-50. Indeed they will. It's been so long since I got an early 5 from this account. Surely. Well, again, maybe it's not beneficial to get an early 5 star. Maybe it's just beneficial to get more 4 stars. I don't know. Anyways, we have a whopping... I mean, the month will reset next week too. Or this week. Not next week. In the patch too. So like I will have like 10 wishes very quickly. That's not very quick, but you know, I'm not gonna be able to do much farming this week because moving. But like after moving, should be we can get on the grind, and it should be fine. I shouldn't need to grind my main account for anything. I shouldn't need to grind. I want to play on my main account, to be clear. There'll be a lot of content to do, but you know, yeah, at 30 pity here, so shouldn't be hard to get to pity. It will be a little bit harder to get to pity twice if we need to do that. So, when's your move? August 1st. So that means probably no theater stream on the 1st, obviously. Unless something changes for some reason that I end up doing, like if I end up delaying my like actual move like a day or something, maybe my computer will still be at where I'm currently at, and I'll do a theater stream, I guess. Most likely no theater stream until the 2nd, though, is my expectation. Getting movers. I don't have that much shit to move. The only real problem I have is I need to figure out my desk. I don't know why I opened it. I need to figure out my desk. Oh, I know. And my TV. I have a 65-inch like LG TV that I want to bring with. So those items are the 2 problem items. Everything else, like I'm moving like 35 minutes away from where I am currently. Well, depends on the traffic, but I'm moving to a location where it should be fine for me to do like probably 3 trips with my car, with everything other than the TV and desk. And I'm hoping my brother's vehicle has enough space. We're gonna check either today or sorry, I need to take a drink. Either today or tomorrow, see if my TV box fits in his vehicle. If it doesn't, then I have to figure out renting a truck probably, but that's on its own pain in the ass, so. But yeah, I don't own so much shit that it should be that problem. I think literally, I should get rid of some stuff though still, but I think 3 trips is maybe all I need to bring the stuff that I have to the new place. Other than the car, or other than the desk. Yeah, if I have to do like a rental truck, the problem is like I have to figure out, like if I do a rental truck, I have to get my car to the apartment still. So like, ugh. Like rental trucks, usually the ideal would be like take the rental truck from the location where I'm currently at to the new location, and you drop it off at the new location. But then I need to get back to where my car is. So like I'm gonna have to either have my car there first or bring my car there after. And like I'm gonna have to, so like my brother's gonna have to like drive along with me or pay for a very expensive Uber probably. Not very expensive, be like, I don't know. Like it's gonna cost like $300, $200 to $300, I think, full on for trying to like do a rental truck. And it's not gonna save that much time necessarily, but it might be what I have to do. So I don't know. I could also ask my dad, I guess, now I think about it, to bring his truck. He probably is willing to and likes doing that kind of thing. But be living alone. I will probably be living with my brother. I say probably because he's figuring his shit out. I told him to figure his shit out before he's moving in. By figure his shit out, I mean did properly figure out his separation from his wife. Because I don't want to have to be dealing with him and his shit before. Like I want that figured out. I don't want that drama as a factor at all. I want it done, dealt with. So the Genshin brother, yeah, it is the Genshin brother. This is what dads with trucks are for. Yeah. Only problem is I'll probably go call him. I was gonna say today, but I have D&D in 5 minutes. I'll probably go call him. Wow. By the way, the number of a strong consideration if I have 2 guarantees in a row on this account. Obviously, new characters, of course, yada yada. But unironically, I have spent enough res in this domain. I have gotten enough artifacts that I can have a compelling Veresa build. The only problem is I don't like have a Lost Prayers for Veresa, right? So like, I don't know if this set is really that compelling on Veresa without Lost Prayers. Anyways, I don't need that actually. So I have more compelling artifacts for options for Veresa. Like I have 2 timepieces that are double crit attack %. I have multiple 4-line feathers. I have double crit flowers. I think a 4-line flower and a 3-line flower. Like I I have really good Veresa pieces and I haven't gotten a compelling option for Skirk set. I don't think it makes sense to farm this that much, but I'm doing it anyways because it's easy. Wish the best for your brother. Yeah, he'll be able to figure it out. He needed some personal pressure from me to be like, hey, get your shit figured out. So I kind of am making him figure it out. So anyways, that is the intention though, is for him to live with me. It'll be nice though I'll have a lot more space in general. I gotta figure out the complicated things for the move. Is gonna be figuring out where I want my office to be. If my desk, so there's a walk-in closet that is like small but large. It's not like huge, but there's a walk-in closet in the apartment that is large enough that I think I could maybe use that, but I don't know if the walk-in closet has outlets, which would be a problem. But like I could do some sound paneling in the closet. Put some soundproofing in the closet, and like it could be a nice room for audio quality and just being a tiny little office. It's only like an 800 square foot apartment, to be clear. It's not a big apartment, but it's a 2-bedroom apartment. If I was living alone, I would just use the second bedroom as an office. The alternative, though, is I might have my office be in the living room. And my brother will just have to not be present if I'm recording, and it won't be a problem because he works nights most of the time, and so if my brother may have to get his own personal TV for his room or something, or I can lend him one of my 2 extra displays that I have like 2 extra ultra wide displays that I have not gotten rid of yet. So he can have one of those in the room and have a computer that he can watch it, or he can use those displays to play on his friggin' Xbox, which is where he does most of his gameplay on like Genshin Zenless at this point, and his media watching. So like, point is, he'll have a room to himself. I can use the living room, I think, as my office, if that makes sense. It's my frickin' apartment. I'm gonna reserve the right to do that. You play on a TV? Oh my god, the bloops. It's probably people telling me Discord or that D&D. But if someone is, I'm gonna yell at them, but they're directly messaging me. I think they're talking to each other though, not me. Okay, good. They're not. Okay, they're just saying they're gonna be late. I'm sorry. I had to turn on notifications because I told them to ping me if I was late. I am not late yet, but I apologize. Don't recommend living in the closet. Too bad. I want to. But anyways, I think like one thing I can tell you I don't like if my desk does not fit in the walk-in closet, it can just be a nice storage space to have, right? But if the desk doesn't fit in there, I don't think I want to have my desk and computer setup in the same room I'm sleeping in. Like I want to have it in a separated space, because I think that'll be nice mentally for me to have like where I am working. I don't just work on my computer, obviously, but like I want to have a separate space for where I'm doing work compared to where I am sleeping, because I think that is part of the problem with my current living space. Is like my desk is right by my bed, and I have this problem sometimes where I'm like, I need to just sit my ass down on my computer and do some editing. But then I'll like go sit on the bed, I'll lay on the bed and like get distracted on my phone or whatever the shit, right? So, anyways, department does it have AC? Yes, it does. I think. I think I would know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that is one of the things I was looking at when I was looking for apartments. I think even if it doesn't, it might be a window AC to be clear, which is fine, I think. But like even if it doesn't, I don't think it'll be a problem because it's on my apartment will be on the bottom floor, and the bottom floor is like in the ground a little bit, so I think it'll like naturally be a lot cooler of a room, which will be nice in some ways, bad in other ways because I like having for the bloops, bad in other ways because I like being slightly uncomfortably warm much more than I like being slightly uncomfortably cold. But anyways, well, in Natlan news you pulled this past year, which one do you regret the most? That's a good thing, good honestly fun thing to end the stream on, I suppose. I'm planning to make a video, hopefully that will be out. I think I want to release this on Tuesday And then hopefully... I like how quickly, by the way, my brain can like look at things and immediately be like, nope. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna make a video that like talks about my thoughts on all the Natlan units on my main account particularly. If we're detaching from constellations, like I think I regret going for C2 Shalonen the most. That was just a waste, but technically it was just a waste of money because I'm pretty sure I got Shalonen with my I believe the money that I spent basically just got me the 2 Shalonen copies and didn't get me much else, right? Like if I hadn't spent money, I still would have a C0R1 Shalonen, right? Chaska, I guess, is probably my most regretted just because I find her gameplay... I find her really interesting to think about and the most boring unit to play generally in practice. And also, like, how awkward she can be when, you know, there dare be a situation where there's 2 enemies. Not 2, usually 3 enemies is where it starts to be a problem. The biggest pain point I've seen with her is, like, they like to put in the mechanical cube in Abyss all the time. And, like, Chaska's single target. Oh, the boss is a single target boss. It's just the mechanical cube. Except for the middle phase where it spawns a bunch of things and those things can't take damage and Chaska targets all the things that can't take damage is insanity. It drives me insane. It almost made me never want to play this character again. So, like, I don't know. She's, like, visual brain rot stimulation, numbers on screen, bunch of colors. Like, it's enjoyable in that way. But, like, I almost always never want to play her. I like having... I like me... Like, I'm playing Skirk. Skirk can be just played click, spam, press E, spam, normal attack, right? But there's a lot of actual nuance and things that you can do with Skirk. Whereas, like, Chaska's nuance is, like, oh, you can let go of the normal attack button slightly early to get, like, 2 extra Animo bullets out in the end of the rotation. Like, wee. And, like, VV Chaska is interesting. But, again, these are, like, things that are interesting to think about. The actual gameplay is, like, so boring. Yeah, and there's a lot of appeal for, like, overworld utility, yada yada. Like, if I was a slightly different kind of player, I could see myself liking Chaska a lot. I don't think Chaska is, like, a poorly designed character other than... You know, her problems against bosses like the mechanical cube is insane in my opinion. But for me personally, probably Chaska. Moika C1 I kind of regret at this point. There's been a couple teams where like it's been actively annoying to have the extra pyro, but also there's been a bunch of teams I've been playing where it's nice and it gives me more, like, having Moika C1 is part of the reason on my main account that I've just been like, I'll e-bot Moika and it's fine. Because, like, Moika C1 gives her an additional, like, 600% motion value off-field, which makes up for a bit, and the extra attack, right? And that makes up for, like, not bursting on her enough that, like, I am fine with that. And it saves rotation time, and it makes her feel more enjoyable to me in different teams, and feel like she's not oppressively taking over the team's damage by pressing Q on her when I don't want to play her as the on-fielder, yada yada. Over someone else. Like, Varessa's team is actually a good example. Like, Varessa, Chevreuse, Moika, Yeonzon. I'd much rather play that team with just Moika E than pressing Moika Q ever, right? Unless it came down to, like, Stygian Onslaught min-maxing, then I would consider it. So, yeah. But, like, Moika C1 is, like, I both do and do not. I do because I don't think it was worth the money. I do not. Because, like, that was the main thing. Like, I got lucky... I don't know. I don't know. Like, I do think with what my mood was with Moika on her release, I would have strongly considered not pulling Moika on her release in favor of just going for Seat Lolly copies. Like, I probably would have gone for C1 Zit Lolly and stopped at C1 Zit Lolly. And maybe gone on the weapon banner, and then maybe wish for Moika if I still had wishes remaining. Like, I had a lot of wishes remaining without spending money, but I spent extra money in order to give me a much better chance of getting the constellations I wanted for using the characters the way I wanted. And I don't know. So, like, I do and I do not, because she's been very useful to have as an off-field utility unit. But they could also easily just release new off-field pyros in the future that essentially completely replace the utility that I get from Moika. So, like, Doer is rumored to be an off-field pyro. If During can just press E and do the pyro that Moika does, but then buff more with, you know, the same rotation balance or whatever, well, oopsies, Moika might be useless to me, and then Moika is solidly in the this character does almost nothing for me on my account territory. No, I absolutely do not regret C1's Lolly. It's probably my favorite constellation in the game, even if I acknowledge that it's my favorite constellation partially in conjunction with other high investment things going on the account, like the fact that I have C2 Farina helps give extra value of C2 Silali, or C1 Silali. The fact that I have a bunch of crit damage weapon options and heavily invested builds that may take more advantage of C1 Silali. Like, and having Silali signature weapon lets me take more advantage of C1 Silali. It's like acknowledging all those asterisks. I think C1 Silali is my favorite constellation in the game. So no, I do not regret that, and I do not think I would regret it even if I wasn't wanting it for content purposes or whatever. Varessa, I think I might have ended up skipping if it weren't for, you know, having content creator excuses. And I think I may have... I'm glad I got Varessa. Like, if you haven't watched the Varessa wishing video, I was like, eh. I was on her. But I'm really like... I think her gameplay is really fun. And the lesson learned is, like, I thought it was a good chance I would like her, to be clear. But I just wasn't... she didn't strongly appeal to me at a baseline. Now I'm probably being yelled at for being late. But I thought I would like her because of the fact that she had quick swap flexibility, but I couldn't think of any teams where that was super relevant. But no, after actually using her, I think it's just nice to have that flexibility in general. So, yeah. And then Healer Varessa, yeah, it's just a fun nuance, and yeah, yada yada. Kaniche postage in Onslaught, I kind of like having Kaniche as an option. So, I don't know. Kaniche, Shaska are the ones that are most, like... These units haven't given me that much value on my account. Like, I could have cleared dire difficulty without Kaniche, to be clear. I would have used Varessa, Shivers, whatever. So, yeah. But I like them a lot more in Onslaught, particularly in the current one. So, yeah. I don't know. Chaska is my vote for who I regret. And that's the stream. Maybe we'll stream tomorrow, trying to get elixirs, because I have... So, for what it's worth, I can do an extraction for an elixir. I think I have enough XP if I need to do that, but I don't think I have to do that. I just need to do like I think enough farming to get these two things. Right. This is the Children of Echoes and the Scions of Canopy. Those two areas I think should be pretty easy to get the last two fragments. And in getting the last two fragments for those two areas, I probably will get enough pyro sigils to get another thing from the thing, because I'm like not even at level 20 yet in the statue. So, like, and then it's a little bit of pre-farming for Seat Lolly in a couple of days. So I might do a stream tomorrow doing exploration on this account, trying to get these, and then crafting a circlet for Arlecchino. And then next patch, or in 6.0, if I need an EM timepiece, I can craft an EM timepiece in the future, or keep farming in Strombox for it. Yeah. So, anyways. Do I still get motion sickness, Kaniche? No. Not really. Outside of rare, really whack situations with his camera work, but yep. Dramatic end with music. Bye-bye.